Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Film is Okie Dokie. My name is CJ, but you knew that already. I am joined, as always, by my esteemed, respected, best friend co-host with the most, Tommy.
Hi, I'm here, and don't forget, CJ, this is the show where we do what every time?
This is the show where we delve into the psyche of filmmakers and audiences alike, and come to the conclusion that everybody except us is wrong.
Correct.
And joining us, as not always, he is my favorite critter, also bestie material, not side piece material. Don't want anyone to get the wrong idea. It's my friend and yours, Mr. GaffeyTaffy. Hello, Gaffey.
That's me. Hi, everybody.
Hi,
I'm so
Gaffey.
excited to be here, and yeah, thank you. You really hyped me up. I feel like a bottom. Can I swear on this show?
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like a real
Yeah.
bottom bitch right now. I'm no longer the side
Alright.
hoe. I'm making the
No,
money,
never.
and I love it.
You were one of our original beta listeners.
Yeah. It's a crazy to think about. I mean, that was
Wow.
already over a year ago.
You
Do you
haven't
remember?
haven't even been on the show for 2 minutes, and CJ's already calling you a beta.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Fine, he's an alpha listener, dude. He had this. He's one of the only people that had the special cut for the very first episode when we were showing our friends like a proof of concept. I synced the commentary track to the video file.
Oh yeah, just for me.
Yeah, and you were like one of two people that ever saw that.
I actually don't know if I ever told Tommy this. I might have told CJ this, but the first time I listened to it, it was pretty much the week after meeting Tommy. I'd heard your guys' Speedrun Insider episode like a long time ago, but I didn't think anything of it really. And so after meeting you guys, I left GDQ like a day early. And so I'm driving back. It's late at night. Pittsburgh, of course, it's all snowy outside. I'm a little sad. I miss the homies already. I put on the Christmas Story episode. I'm listening to oh, this is going to be good. And so I waited. I was like, yeah, eventually this show will be really good. And I think it wasn't for another 8 months or a whole year. They're like, yeah, one day this show will be out. That's for sure.
That's right. We had the crazy long buffer period in front of us releasing episodes where we backlogged a ton of episodes so that we had, the buffer to work with since we're so busy, and we've been slowly eating through it. Like, it was pretty much 9 to 10 months between when we recorded our first episode and released, and we've now cut it down to 2.5 months. I think is how much buffer we need.
I don't like the narrowing of the gap because it puts more pressure on you, but I do kind of like that we're not forecasting into next year now. I kind of like that.
By the way, I just wanted to interject and say, Disney, you heard it here first. CJ broke all of your copyright laws when editing that thing, so make sure you're suing CJ and not Tommy.
Jesus, it was for it was not distributed. So.
And it might have had video, so I was watching while driving, and that was because I was peer pressured.
Jesus.
I could have died.
A lot of people, so I want to go back to something that you touched on. So you heard the podcast that me and Tommy did on Speedrun Insider, an old show that I used to do, which someone told me recently, I don't remember if it was you or Patrick or somebody. It came up because we were making fun of Dayman for not telling anybody that he has a show.
Dayman has a show?
Exactly.
Dayman has a show?
Dayman has a weekly live show. Yeah.
What?
And it streams live every Friday. That's why he never hangs out on Fridays. On Retro Gaming Live TV, he plays him and his friends play different ports of games. So basically, if there was a Dreamcast version and an N64 version, one person will play the N64 version, one person will play the Dreamcast version, and we'll compare. like, oh, well, how what are the differences, right? Because like back then the games were wildly different. Especially if you add in a PS1 version, woof, cancel Christmas. It was different. So, like he did Sarge's Army Men, Army Heroes. Y'all remember that game?
Nope.
Vaguely.
That bad, big bad. But no, he has the show. He does it every Friday. It's on like Retro Gaming Live TV Live. I forget the name of the channel. This is probably awful. I think it's RGL is the acronym. So Retro Gaming Live TV. It was Matt who was like, wasn't it you that said you didn't want to tell anyone you had a podcast, so you had like a year's worth of episodes? And I was like, yeah, it's big fair. But I did a show. I used to do a show called Speedrun Insider. I don't do it anymore. I got to 54 episodes. We counted the other. And the episodes that get talked to me about the most are the Tommy episodes. Everyone tells me that they listen to the Tommy episodes. And I tell people, like, it's half a joke, it's half serious. You can listen to that and listen to me and Tommy become friends in real time.
Specifically the All Stars episode, the second one we did together.
Yeah.
Ooh, are you
was
saying you
when we-
didn't feel it on the first one?
Well, it was the second. That was when we really started talking about That's My Boy, was when we were in the second. It was like the
I thought
first
there were
episode.
sparks, but well,
I mean, there
I guess
were.
maybe I misread the room.
We would occasionally message each other.
Mhm.
Like, and it was like, we always like, and he would eventually tell me like, I have to stop messaging you today because if I don't, I will just talk to you all day. Like he would cut me off back in the day. And so we did the All Stars episode, and but this is actually an interesting question because I was trying to think about this. I don't actually know the moment we crossed the threshold, right? Like we did the podcast and it was good. I don't know when like we like really became like real friends, Tommy. Like I don't know. Like I'm going to your house on Friday. I'm coming to visit you this weekend. I don't know the moment when like I would have been able to tell you I'm coming to visit, and you would have opened up your couch for me. You know what I mean?
Wow. So our friendship is just that forgettable, huh?
Wow. Fuck me.
I mean,
No,
crazy guess here, but
I-
would it not be when you shared a room and really, had
No, it had to have
we
been
were-
2
before
a.m.
that.
girl talk?
we were good friends before that. It was
Oh,
in
I
the-
could not have shared a bed with him if we were not really close before that.
only if it was just for one night.
Okay, I could have done one night.
So I think that it was around when you guys did that big road trip and you were visiting all of like the Speed Docs friends
is
and
true.
whatnot.
Yeah.
And I think it was like kind of in the aftermath of that, we started chatting a lot. It was around that time that I was moving across the country, and
right.
I feel like just generally that year was around the time.
Right, because you moved to Colorado and
Mm-hmm.
the Colorado. Yeah. No, that's true. It's funny because I was telling you, hey, we're coming to Chicago. Do you want to hang out? You kind of were like, I'll let you know. I don't know. Yeah. And I was like, oh, he doesn't want to hang out. And I'm like, I'm coming to Chicago, and you're not like, I know one person in Chicago, it's you. And then you told me the day that because you did end up coming out, you did end up hanging out with us. And you told me that the reason you weren't sure is because the next morning you were getting up at 3 a.m. to catch a flight to Colorado to look at apartments.
Yeah.
So that's why you hemmed and hawed, but you came out anyway.
Yeah, of course. I always make
Yeah.
an effort.
You did make the effort.
Of course, of course.
I was thinking about it for Gaffey too, because I remember there was a moment when I ended up being on Gaffey's podcast. But
Wait. Gaffey has a podcast?
he is.
Oh my, what?
Yeah.
Oh man, because I was gonna ask how you guys got like acquainted, because I don't know how you guys.
And I was
met
gonna
each
bring
other.
that up too, because I remember Gaffey submitted to STAT, which is Speed Docs-a-thon, our charity event that Speed Docs does every August, every Labor Day, basically. And he was a part of. So the original STAT was very different. It was 24/7, but it had a bunch of different people that never came back. like it had a very different feeling to it, had a very different crowd. The second year of SStat, because none of the original SStat people came back, we got all new people. And what was so interesting was Gaffey was one of the new people. He's actually one of the people that has stayed the most.
Yeah.
Glenn is a part of that group. Quill and all the fish, shout out if you're listening. He was a part of that group. But those, like, there was some other people that I'm sure I'm forgetting or not mentioning, but like those were like the key three or the core four that kind of were a part of that like new wave of SStat people. And I was very appreciative of that because like they had a ton of people that came along with them. They had really cool friends. They had cool communities. They had different games that they played that we had never seen before. Like Gaffey played Crash 2. Gaffey scammed the audience and didn't give his dog treats.
Wow.
As is now tradition, of course.
That's
yeah.
fucked up.
Yeah, it was pretty good. But I didn't leave that event being like, oh, me and Gaffey are like homies.
No, definitely not.
We did the podcast together. Your podcast. You were on my podcast.
Which kind of similar ideas for sure, but entirely different vibes. And I think definitely by the second time, it was a lot more comfortable, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't know, mine was I took a lot of inspiration from like Hot Ones. So it was really like, oh, I want to, get deep. Let's get real. But it was very like 70% like following some sort of script, and yours was like 10% following a script, which I definitely like. Is very enjoyable to listen to.
Yeah, I think that I try to make content that I would go back and listen to if it wasn't me, because I don't like to listen to my own voice. I'll tell you that, not that we weren't friends before this, Gaffey, because obviously we had to have been, but I think our friendship blossomed and took on a different level when the initial gazebo formed. Like the original gazebo.
Yeah, I think even more so just exposure, right? Like before it would be once every event or something like that, and it was always cool to come back. But then it was like, all right, I'm talking to CJ pretty much every other day or something like that. It kind of became the cool hangout. Yeah, especially sports season time. Oh man.
Yeah. So some deep lore. So we're all a part of a club called the Gazebo, making us Gazebo Boys. I want to clarify, if you're in the Gazebo, Gazebo Boys is a genderless term. It's boys with a Z.
Kind of like a good boy dog, they're all good boys.
Sure. I wouldn't equate being a woman or gender nonconforming to being a dog. But, that's your analogy to draw. You're the guest.
Hold up.
Yeah, hold up. Wait a minute. So, the original gazebo, and I might have told this story before, but it was originally you and Dayman and myself in a group chat. Because I was betting on women's college basketball and hockey and soccer. And you guys were my witnesses. And Dayman, not because he bets on sports. You, because you bet on sports. Dayman, not because he bets on sports, but because he likes to laugh at my misery.
Some real stinker parlays going on. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I was hooking up like over like run line on baseball and like women's college basketball overs. And like NHL hockey, like money line for a parlay. It was terrible. I was like an addict at the time. And so then we co-opted the name Gazebo, and we made the original Gazebo chat was in the Speed Dock server. And then that's kind of how everybody else started joining. So Grace started to join from that. Matt would join once in a while. Patrick would join. Like, so that's how kind of everybody kind of that's in the gazebo started to join the gazebo. And I
They're
think,
all right, I guess.
hey, listen, I think they're cool. We all share a the three of us all share a tattoo.
And I love it.
I do love it. But yeah, no, you and I, our relationship definitely grew once the gazebo became a thing, because then we started hanging out every day.
Yeah, now, I mean, I couldn't leave if I tried. CJ would hunt me down. That's for sure.
Mhm. And
it's
then
always CJ who's enforcing it too.
oh yeah. Well, I have to be the instigator.
Well, yeah, because you're the only one willing to get banned from places.
That's true. My brother got fed up with me the other day, and he threatened to throw me out. And then he
Really?
laughed. Yeah. A customer said,
That's
if
your
you're not
blood.
careful, a customer said, if you're not careful, he'll throw you out. And then my brother laughed and said, he's been thrown out of nicer places than this, which is true. Speaking of places I've been thrown out of,
Oh boy.
I was thinking about movie theaters lately. Because we're gonna go to a movie while I'm in Chicago. I'm not gonna spoil it because I want that to be something we talk about on the post show for the film Mizoki no. And there used to be a Regal Cinemas in the mall. Growing up, it was there for a long time. It was there until it went out of business, basically, and then the mall died. We do have a theater now. It's a Illinois-based chain, and which is funny that it's in my neck of the woods. But I had such a relationship with that theater. Like, it was terrible. The seats were always broken. The floor was so sticky. It was so gross. It had like that gray carpet with like the red and blue, like it almost looked like sprinkle pattern on it. It had the peeling wallpaper. It had this really big concession area, and it had like ticket stub places out front, but they didn't work. So they would like take your order, and then you have to go in the lobby to pay. It was really fucked. And then like they had like a little party room. There used to be an arcade there when I was a kid. They got rid of that. Man, and I remember so much about this theater. And when I think about going to the movies, I think about going to that fucking Regal Cinemas. Like, that is the theater that I go to. And so because this is Gaffey's like first episode, and because he's a guest, I'm kind of interested. Like, do you have a relationship with a theater? I know your upbringing, you moved around more, but I'm curious, like, do you have relationships with movies or theaters or physical spaces related to movies like that?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, so kind of growing up, we still went to the mall. You know, that was the cool thing, and I had one of the biggest malls down there in South Florida next to me. And so regularly, it was also a Regal, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And it was nothing special, but it's just like it was the hangout spot, and it was fine. But I hold up this one movie theater that was in Oklahoma City. I lived there for about 4 years. Yuck. But it was just so premium and nice. It's called the Warren. And the screen was massive. Like, the sound was just good. The food was great. Like, the seats, they had the comfy seating before everybody had the comfy seating. And it still was only like $12 a ticket or something like that. It was just because there was this rich guy who was like, I love movies. I want to have a premium experience for everybody. And nothing has been able to compete, or you spend like $50 to get something that kind of competes.
Why do you think it took so long for the theaters to hop on board with the comfy chairs?
Because people were going anyway, so money.
But
now it's like, well, I've got an 80-inch TV in my house. Why would I go out? So they got to make it nice. Otherwise, nobody's going to go.
Tommy, do you have input on the why so long on the comfy chairs?
I honestly think it's because the comfy chairs don't retain the butt smells as well. And like, they want to make sure that the theater is as filled with butt smell as possible.
Man, I can't.
I didn't consider that part.
Right. And CJ, that's why it isn't something you would have thought of. It's just
Right.
part of like the what's the word? The olfactory experience.
Olfactory,
Yeah, that experience of the theater, you're just missing out on like so many films that I've seen over the years. That smell is just ingrained in my mind alongside them. And it's a bummer that, that's something missing from your life.
No, I'm with you there. Man, I went to a theater in Charlotte, North Carolina, which served food. And it was like the first time I'd ever been to a dine-in one where they would like bring the food to you. And I gotta tell you, if it weren't for the novelty of that being my like maiden voyage experience with that experience, I would have been very disappointed because that pizza they gave me was like a Red Baron. Not that there's anything wrong with the Red Baron, but you go out to a theater, you pay $20 for a pizza. I ain't expecting Tombstone. I ain't expecting Papa John, right? I ain't expecting. I'm expecting a pizza, right? Get the pizza oven, not one of them rinky dink joints. I'm not expecting a Hunt Brothers. I got a Hunt Brothers pizza in front of me, but we saw Guardians 2 like when it came out. That was pretty cool. They also had
kind of same
which
vein.
was really cool.
Kind of same idea. The pizza pretty much always going to be terrible, but I kind of have a love for movie theater nachos. And obviously everybody loves popcorn. Like that's just, you get a soda, you get a popcorn when you're watching a movie.
Mm-hmm.
But the nachos, which are terrible, like the plastic cheese, the chips that came out of a bag from last year, it just hits.
Now, this is funny because I'm pretty sure in the episode we just recorded before
I was
this
about
one,
to say, yeah.
CJ went through and asked me all of the types of snacks you might find at a movie theater and whether or not one is a good movie theater snack or not. And I seem to recall CJ listing nachos as one of them. I'm like, yeah, that's a movie theater snack. And CJ saying, no, that is not a movie theater
I'm not
snack.
saying that they're not available.
Oh, boy.
I'm saying that it breaks with tradition.
No,
it's my tradition.
Your
Yeah.
one experience,
Without
the one thing
tradition,
that you've
our lives would be as shiftless.
stop
as a
forcing
fiddler on the
your
roof.
traditions on other people.
I am gonna dude. Okay, sidebar. Pretzel at the movies.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh my god.
Thank you.
I don't ever get it, but like they're
Outside
there.
of, if you're at a dine-in place, this is not to cover. I'm talking like Regal, okay? Regal, not like a dine-in place.
Yeah, a normal
So
ass
you're
movie
saying
theater.
nachos?
Wait,
Yes.
why would it be at a dine-in place for a pretzel?
No.
No.
Yeah, movie
Shut up.
theaters, basic ass
Yeah.
movie theaters I grow up going to
Ice
before.
cream.
They come in the
ice
plastic
cream-
tin. You get the yellow brown chips in that plastic cheese.
Yeah,
Maybe some
exactly.
jalapenos if you're fancy.
Sometimes they come in a little box.
How about hot dog?
Yeah, the little box.
hot
No.
dog?
Hot dog.
I
not
don't
a hot
really think
dog.
that's no.
Okay, we're okay on the hot dog. I fucking can't stand the hot dog. I can't stand the pizza.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, pizza, not really.
Plus, that's
No.
just messy.
But
That's going to be so
nacho,
much
yes.
grease.
Pretzel, yes. All the candy they
If
have
you-
up there, yeah.
the candy out there is fine. If
Ices.
we're going to see a movie, I don't want to say what it is. If you order nachos at the theater, I will leave.
Better order the nachos now, actually.
I really
Or
want
else
to order.
I
the
will
Tommy,
nachos.
go.
I will walk out of there.
I'll walk in there.
I
that's a
will
shame.
I will sit in the car.
Oh well, good luck doing that because I'm gonna have the keys on me.
I will sit on the car.
Good luck finding it. It's a big. It's a big parking lot.
So you will
Gonna
have driven
blindfold
me
you.
there.
Gonna blindfold you.
No,
Uh-huh.
if you order
We're gonna put
nachos
you in the
at the
trunk.
theater, I'll be so mad.
Why? It's a totally.
I was gonna say, yeah,
normal
what's the
movie
hate on
theater
the
snack.
No, because you'd be
Nachos.
doing it to spite me.
But it's just fucking nachos. If
No,
you
but
get-
they're spite nachos.
This is the line in the
my
sand.
God,
Gaffey,
this is-
back me up.
No,
Yeah.
you're
No.
insane for this.
No.
You are.
It's what, you can have a different opinion on the nachos at the theater. You're still wrong. But if he orders nachos at the theater with me this time,
What if I just
He's
want
drinking
the
haterade.
nachos?
He's drinking
Doesn't
the
that
haterade.
make you the bad friend for not accepting your other friend's ways?
Yeah,
Maybe
again,
he just wants
forcing
nachos.
your beliefs on another person. Stop trying to
CJ
make me live
Columbus over
CJ's
here.
life. Yeah.
I will force
God
whatever
damn
the fuck I want on
Italians.
top of you.
Italians.
Wow, what do you mean? Jesus Christ. Oh my god. I mean, we're just all a couple of Dagos here. Any Hoosers, so I was thinking about my relationship with the Regal, and I fucking can't stand all the food that people used to bring into the
Wrongly
theater.
so.
Rightfully so. Have you ever done something weird in a movie theater?
That sounds like a real leading question. You guys ever done something in a theater?
You ever
you
cut a
shouldn't
hole in the
have?
bottom of the popcorn?
That's so gross. I would have never
So
done
it
that.
falls onto the floor? Funny
yeah,
prank?
Yeah. All right, real talk. You're eating popcorn, and you get
Yeah.
to a kernel that's too hard to do anything with. What do?
I chew on
You
it.
Throw it at the screen.
Are you actually being serious? Because I throw it at the floor.
I throw it on the floor. Yeah.
I
Like,
throw
real
it at
talk,
the screen.
I'm sorry. I feel bad. I'm putting it on the floor. If you're going to give me burnt kernels, I'm going to give
Why
the
don't
guy
you
with
just
the
put
broom
it back
something
in
to
the
do.
bucket?
No.
Because someone else could grab that too.
Yeah, why-
Like,
that's-
yeah.
I'm
You
not
guys
trying
are
to-
sharing your popcorn, psychos.
You're a psycho if you don't
you're
share
in a
your
committed
popcorn.
relationship and you don't share popcorn?
No, we share.
Of course you do. It probably takes the two of you like 6 years to order a popcorn.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, you have to look at the whole menu.
No,
Yeah,
we don't.
yeah.
Because we know what we want there.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, because you look the menu up ahead of time.
Well, it's a movie theater. We know our options. The options are popcorn, pretzels, nachos,
Oh, fucking
candy,
Hot
kill you.
dogs.
ices.
Ices are okay. I like ices.
I thought you said no to ices last time.
I like ices. They're not okay in the theater.
Ices are a no at a movie theater. I stand
like
by
them.
this.
So, going back, what did you mean by when you said, "Have you guys ever done anything wrong in a movie theater?" What
All
what did you
right.
mean by this?
All right. This is CJ's top 3 things that he did in a movie theater that he shouldn't have done.
Okay.
Coming in at number 3.
Coming in at number 3.
Wait, before we get into these, can I just preface with one question? CJ, am I remembering correctly, you are like against sneaking snacks into the movie theater?
Oh, 100%.
What?
100%.
That's an American pastime.
That's
Against
what
the
I've said.
rules.
I've said that it's literally an unspoken agreement. As long as you put in the bare minimum amount of effort to conceal your snack, they do
won't
not
do it.
care.
I'm bringing my soda and my Twizzlers, and
You
they're
bringing a
fitting
drink?
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Nah, bro, I'm buying a drink.
You've never been in the theater and heard
Dude.
someone crack open a
Dude.
beverage?
Support the things you love. You like the movie theater? Pay for a drink at the movie theater. What's the matter with you?
I'm not getting extorted.
You're not,
I'm
Gaffey. I'm
not
letting you off the hook.
negotiating with. I'm not
Tommy,
negotiating
you're not
with terrorists.
fucking well off enough to afford a fucking
Wait, are you
bottle
calling
of
me
water?
poor now? Are you calling
No.
me poor?
I pay for their
That backfired.
goddamn subscription service.
Then buy the fucking food.
No.
Okay. Well, whatever.
It's
Look.
changed a little bit for me now. I do have like the movie subscription thing. I think it's AMC or whatever.
Mhm.
And they give you like 20% off snackies and stuff. And they have a snack box that comes with popcorn, a little soda, and a fruit snacks. Definitely meant for children, but I get it every time. Comes in a cute little box, and I just
I bet it's like
it's
the perfect portion
portion
size too. Yeah.
It is. He knew.
Look, I get a small popcorn, unless I'm skipping lunch. I get a small popcorn, and I get a bottle of water, and that's it.
Dang, you got $25 to throw away like that?
Bruh, it's sometimes $25 just to sit in the damn theater.
That's what I'm saying. That's just the popcorn and soda or water.
I know. All right,
So
the top 3 things.
you're against the candy, but here are the top 3 things that you've
Right.
done wrong.
Number 3, someone convinced me to smuggle a candy into the theater.
Oh my god.
The one and only time I ever did it.
Was it Tommy?
No, it wasn't Tommy.
And what happened? Did your hand burn off?
No, but I gotta tell you, I felt wrong about it the whole time, and now I can't watch that movie.
What movie was it?
Wait, what?
Ricky and the Flash.
Oh, you're not missing out on much.
I've seen it. I know what happens. I mean, I went and saw it because I grew up with someone named Ricky whose name was spelled the same way.
So if I bring snacks to the movie we're going to see this Saturday, which so you know,
it's fine.
was planning on,
it's fine.
I just want to make sure I'm not going to ruin this.
I'm not
going
to be a part of it.
I'm
not going to accept any of your snacks.
I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna have to ask you to help me smuggle.
No.
Well, that's pretty bad. Have you ever done a double feature?
Yeah, but that's not wrong. I've done it. Oh,
support the things you love.
No. I paid for a double feature.
Oh no, that's even more psycho.
No, that's commerce.
No. It's like you already buy your way into Disney World. You're not going to pay per ride. Once you pay to get in the theater, you can watch 2 movies if you got the time.
No, I don't do that. That's fucked up. You wouldn't steal a car.
I would download a car in a heartbeat.
No, you wouldn't. All right, listen. That's number 3. Number 2, the most wrong thing I ever did in a theater. During Columbiana. Did anyone ever see Columbiana?
Nope.
Zoe Saldana, or
I think it is Zoe Saldana.
Yeah.
That is
2011. It was like opening weekend. It was just me and my uncle. So, I think one of us went to Dick's and bought a football, and then we just started throwing the football around in the theater.
Oh, that's cool.
It was a pretty boring
that?
movie. It's very wrong. It breaks all the rules of decorum of the movie. And then the guy with the flashlight came in and saw what we were doing, but then looked around and saw there was nobody else in, and then he was like, he just turned around and left.
No victim. What's the crime?
Wow. So it's almost like you weren't punished even though you were caught. So it's not like this is even something bad to do. And it's better than sneaking in snacks?
Listen. He has discretion in his job, okay? He chose not to enforce a rule. That doesn't mean that I was in the right. There are rules when you go to the theater.
Okay. And what was this number 1 thing? What was this number 1
You're gonna
rule?
think that...
I am ready for this.
All right. Ex-girlfriend of mine tried to give fellatio during a movie.
What does that mean?
She tried.
Are you saying she failed?
Okay, so let me set the scene. It's Wreck-It Ralph, first of all.
Oh, no.
I felt all kinds of wrong about it. Second of all, you know how, like, so imagine, like, a theater, and in the back are the doors, but the doors are on, like, the sides. So, like, when you go in, like, you're immediately facing the wall, and you have to turn to go down into the theater, right? You kind of get what I'm saying?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, like, there are chairs in front of the door, and there are chairs behind the door, way in the back of the theater. But you can see the light, like, coming in. Like, you're sitting in the light from the hallway. And that's where we were sitting. So she was trying to, like, pickle my gherkin in the light during Wreck-It Ralph. And it just felt all kinds of wrong.
There are other people?
Oh, it was like opening weekend for Wreck-It Ralph.
Children?
It was like an 11:30 show. There was no children around us.
I was going to say, that didn't say yes or no.
There was nobody around us because we were sitting all the way in the back next to the door. But also, we're by the door.
So the first 2 things you listed were like grains of fucking rice. And this is...
Yep. Mm-hmm.
like...
That's why they were ranked that way.
It'll leave it so it's just like,
what, you think I should re-rank them?
No. It's just the gap between 1 and 2 is infinitely larger than 2 and 3.
I have a staunch record of proper movie going. She just wouldn't leave me alone.
In the duology of passing the ball around.
Listen now.
Bad.
Look, it didn't happen, but it almost happened.
Would you smack her away? Be like, no.
Wait, so it didn't happen?
All right, can I get clarification on what it happening means?
Well, you just said it.
No, but I'm saying
happened,
like
it didn't
like
happen.
Okay, if someone licks you like a lollipop, does the act of licking or is the act of finishing the requirement?
Beginning.
Yeah.
There was a beginning.
I suddenly really hate this.
You wanted to go further.
No, I just asked, like, what? Wait, so did this happen or not? Because you can't say
It did happen.
Okay, because I was gonna say you can't say it almost happened and it's on this list. It either happened and is on the list, or it didn't happen and it's not on this list.
It's like a car that won't start turning over. Like you still.
It's only 6 or 7 minutes. It doesn't count, Tommy. You see?
Oh my god.
Contact was initiated. It was not reciprocated.
What?
So you're saying you did in 69?
No, I'm saying I didn't want it to happen.
Gotcha.
She was trying to enforce her views on head in the movie theaters on me. In the same way that I'm trying to force my rules on snacks on the movie theater on you.
Oh, you Me Too'd her.
I did not Me Too her. She Me Too'd
I would just say, you just said you didn't consent.
If I didn't consent, I'd be the victim.
Exactly. You called her out. Me too.
Okay.
We're going for justice now.
Also, I don't remember what year did Wreck-It Ralph come out?
Oh,
2001.
No, it didn't. That was like... No. That was like 2012, right?
1978.
Shut up. That's
I'm
like
pretty sure it was like 89. Yeah.
Oh my god. You don't need to help him. He does bad all on his own.
1961.
It came out in the 1900s. I saw like every movie that came out from like 2011 to 2012. I feel very confident in that.
You're just living in a movie theater? Is pulled the Tom Hanks? You're just I live here now.
I did not terminal the movie theater.
Yeah.
I feel like I was in the theater like every weekend for like a whole year. Sometimes like multiple times a week.
What did you think of Final Destination 5?
Okay, I didn't see that one. But is that the one where it turns out to be a prequel for the first one?
Yes.
Okay, I know of that movie.
Oh wait, also scary.
Yeah, I don't see horror movies. So
what did you think of Spy Kids All the Time in the World?
That movie come out in 2012?
2011.
Did that go to theaters?
Did it come out in 3D?
You know what? I have to do some research on that, whether it's not immediately apparent if it was in 3D.
I think I saw a Spy Kids movie in Real D, so I'm not sure, but let me know.
That was probably Spy Kids 3D. Sorry, Spy Kids 3D Game Over.
Yeah, I loved all the people that used to steal the 3D glasses, and I'm like, dude, like, because my theater doesn't even do 3D anymore. I'm like, they don't work after you leave the theater. Like,
it's not stealing, you paid for them.
I don't know. I put a 3D glasses on after I get out of the theater, and everything looks pretty 3D to me.
There were some really bad movies in 2011 and 2012 that I saw. But I saw, like, every movie that came out in that time. And there was some stinkers. Probably the one that came out that people are, like, the most... that I disagree with the most. I fucking hated the Ryan Gosling movie, that Drive movie. That was
that was.
I did not like that one. People love that one.
I think that's pretty good.
I have no context. I feel like it was a Redditor movie.
Dude, Seth Rogen and Green Hornet. That was my shit when it came out. I loved that movie.
Wasn't that also famously really bad?
I don't know if it was really bad, but it had it was good. I liked it.
I wouldn't agree.
I liked it. There was a third open season that came out.
Yep, everybody was waiting for that.
Romeo and Juliet, the first Romeo and Juliet came out that year. I'm looking, Hall Pass, the Jason Sudeikis and Owen Wilson movie.
Yeah, and
wow,
Pam from The Office is in that.
Where she, where the hooker shits, she sharts and blows it all over the fucking bathroom wall.
I don't remember
no need
that.
to be crass.
Yeah. She's like, I can't throw up. I wish I could throw up. She thinks she needs her appendix out, and she just is sitting on the side of the tub, and she's like sneezes and she sharts all over the back of the fucking tub.
I mean, he was not done like what's the saying? He who has cast the first stone shall not be the one to something like that.
Let he without sin cast
No,
the first stone.
no. I don't think.
Oh,
that's
bless
it.
you.
Pretty sure something about
the Adjustment
throwing...
Bureau was really bad.
Oh.
Beastly was really bad. Rango was really bad. I saw all of these movies in 1
Rango
week.
was bad.
Oh, I actually liked Rango.
Wow.
Take Me Home Tonight. So I saw all these movies in 1 week. Okay, Adjustment Bureau, Beastly, Rango, Take Me Home Tonight, Battle Los Angeles. Battle Los Angeles was Aaron Eckhart, Michelle Rodriguez, and Michael Pena, and Neo. Neo was in that movie. I remember that. And I'm
Who's
like,
your favorite
damn.
actor?
No, I like Aaron Eckhart though. They had a Limitless came out. Do y'all remember Paul?
Yeah, the alien.
Yeah, with Seth Rogen as Paul.
Yeah.
And they take him to the Winchester, wait out the zombies. Yeah.
No, different one. And Sucker Punch. I saw all of those movies in like 1 week.
Dang.
Yeah. I was on vacation. That's what I did every day. I went to the movies. Spent all my money. Dude,
Famously, you couldn't do that anywhere else.
No, but my grandparents lived in the Villages, and they had this awesome theater. And it was like stadium style seating, which my theater didn't have at home, and it had a really big, beautiful screen. It like the theater was like brand new. It had an awesome, huge lobby. Like someone was like playing like live instruments in there, and it was like super cool. So and it was like super. Oh, Hop! Did y'all see Hop?
No, that's the one about the
It's
Easter
not
Bunny.
ringing a bell.
Yeah, with the chickens. Source Code. Source
that movie
Code.
rules.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, that movie rules.
That was a remake, right?
The Source Code?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, they're on the train or something?
They are on the
Yeah.
train, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie rules.
Arthur. You remember Arthur?
The aardvark. Yeah, of course.
No. It was Russell Brand and Helen Mirren.
No.
I don't remember them being in Arthur.
Every day when you're walking down the street.
Hey.
Good ass
yeah.
song.
Hannah. You remember Hannah? They remade it as like a Amazon show. It has like Saoirse Ronan in it. Like a young Saoirse Ronan.
I remember wanting to see it. That's about as...
Is
I don't know
Soul
if I ever
Surfer
did.
the one where the girl gets eaten by the shark?
Yeah, it takes her leg, and it's like a... You can overcome that story.
Rio came out that year.
So wait, was this the year that like kind of sparked that you love movies, or?
Yeah, I was working for my high school newspaper. I was the president of the newspaper. I was not the editor yet. I became the editor my senior year. But I went and saw every single theater, and I wrote a ton of movie reviews. Water for Elephants had Robert Pattinson and Reese Witherspoon. Let me think. Hobo with a Shotgun came out in 2011. That's right. Thor, Bridesmaids. I saw Thor and Bridesmaids back to back on the same day.
Did you pay for them both?
Yes, I did.
Wow, nerd.
On Stranger Tides, I saw twice. I saw that one in the movie in the regular Regal Cinemas, and then I saw that in the drive-in because we have a bunch of drive-ins around us. And I actually have nothing good to say about that movie, but I love Ian McShane. And he
Was
plays
that the
Blackbeard
fourth
in that movie?
Pirates movie?
Yeah, it's the fourth one.
Yeah.
Kung Fu Panda Part 2. Those movies, low-key, underrated. They're all really good.
Ask the first one?
Yeah, the second and third one are really good. The Hangover Part 2.
Dude, we should watch all the Panda movies today.
All right, sure. X-Men First Class.
I've never seen any of them.
They're all really good. Like, no, I'm not capping. They're really
Stop
good.
capping.
This
X-Men
guy
First
always
Class,
capping.
Super 8. I saw Super 8 in the drive-thru.
I saw that in the
The drive-in.
drive-in as well, actually.
Judy Moody and the Not Bummer Summer, I saw. And let me see. Green Lantern.
You love that movie.
I fucking hated that movie. Mr. Popper's Penguins I saw in the
Oh,
drive.
I remember seeing that one.
Cars 2? Yeah. Okay. Why did Cars 2 have a fist fight in a bathroom?
They had
In the movie?
fists?
Yeah, exactly. Transformers Dark of the Moon.
Wait, he didn't answer it.
Yeah, wait, so they had fists?
They fought with their tires. I don't know. Horrible Bosses I saw in
That's
the drive-in.
not much of a fist fight.
Man, I feel like this is the era of, like, Jason Sudeikis getting a ton of roles, but, like, I don't think he's funny in any of them.
I'll say, is this like when
Zookeeper.
Arrested Development was big or something? They're like,
Was Jason
get this guy.
Sudeikis in Arrested Development?
No, you're
I
thinking
think of
Jason
the wrong
Bateman.
Jason.
You're
Ah,
thinking Jason Bateman.
Yeah. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 was obviously a big movie that year. Winnie the Pooh was released in 2011. Captain America: The First Avenger I saw on the same day as Friends with Benefits, which was
nice.
also in the drive-in. I saw Captain America: The First Avenger in a theater. Later that night, I saw Friends with Benefits back to back with Cowboys and Aliens.
Oh, I remember that movie. I wanted to see it, and everybody thought it looked
Bruh.
really, really dumb. It Daniel
Cowboys-
Craig, right?
Yeah.
It has
James
no
Bond
plot.
fighting aliens.
It
That's
has
sick.
no plot. I don't know what that
What plot
movie's
do you
about.
need? You're fighting aliens and cowboys.
They didn't even do it.
What? What do you mean they didn't do
excuse
it? It's
me.
in the name.
He
No,
had the
it's
wrist gun
Cowboys
thingy.
and Aliens. They didn't fight.
Oh,
It's not Cowboys
Never mind.
versus Aliens. It's
that's
dumb.
whack.
Yeah, I know. The Smurfs came out that year. Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I know you're a big Planet of the Apes fan.
Yeah, those rule.
Yeah, I was a big fan. Those were great.
I went back.
CJ
to
hates those.
I went back
What?
to Florida that year, in August, to visit my grandparents. I saw The Help. They did like a mini premiere of The Help, where I think Bryce Dallas Howard and I think Allison Janney were there to promote the movie, which was cool. So I got to see them. 30
Wait, did you
minutes
say you were in the villages? Like,
Yeah, that's where my grandparents used to live.
oh,
Yeah. 30 minutes
did
or
they have
less.
a movie theater there?
I just said this.
I didn't click. It didn't register. I feel like
Yeah,
we breezed
that's
past
the
it.
theater that I went through. Yeah. That was the
Oh.
big theater that had the big stadium seating and everything.
Did you get to drive a golf cart through the
I
movie
did.
theater?
Yeah.
Oh man, did you have
My
a loofah?
grandparents lived there. A loofah? No, I didn't have a loofah.
Yeah, special colored loofah or whatever.
No, I don't have a special covered loofah. My mom had a house there for a long time, too.
Did she have a loofah?
I don't know. Stop asking about my loofahs. 30
Right.
minutes or less.
I thought he was asking about your mom's loofahs.
Don't
It
ask
was,
about my-
yeah.
Don't bring my mom into this.
What about Gram?
Nope, shut up. 30 Minutes or Less was a movie about Jesse Eisenberg playing
And
Jesse Eisenberg, but he's
Yeah,
got a
and-
bomb strapped to his vest.
Aziz Ansari, Danny McBride,
Early Aziz
Nick
Nick
Ansari. Yeah.
Swardson.
Yeah, and Michael Pena was in that movie too.
I was
yeah,
actually a pizza delivery guy at that time, and that terrified me. I'm like, somebody's going to get a bad idea. I'm screwed.
Well, that movie was based off of that idea. That was a real thing that happened.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting confirmation that Spy Kids all the time in the world was in 4D.
Whoa!
4D.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. Well, I mean, let's be real though. Most 3D movies are in 4D because of all the butt juices.
You know, I always forget about the butt juices.
Bucky
but they're such a
Larson-
critical
Always
part.
forgetting about 'em.
Bucky Larson, Born to Be a Star, came out.
That movie sucked.
Contagion. Matt Damon, Larry Fishburne.
When would
Jude
that
Law.
ever be relevant?
Warrior was really good. Joel Edgerton and Tom Hardy
Oh, great movie. Yeah.
and Nick Nolte.
Oh.
And Kurt Angle was in that movie too. Drive, I saw. I didn't like it.
Where are we at in the year release calendar?
September.
All right, let's plow. Let's keep going.
I'm
All right,
going.
Power
What?
Hour.
What? You don't like this?
No, I'm saying let's keep going.
Moneyball.
That's a good one.
50-50. That's the movie where
I really like that one.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt gets cancer and Seth Rogen watches.
Yeah, and
Yep.
Anna Kendrick watches, and Bryce Dallas Howard watches.
Yeah. The Ides of March. Ryan Gosling, George Clooney, Philip Seymour Hoffman, I believe in one of his later roles, in one of his final roles.
Rip in peace.
Yeah. He didn't have that many more roles. I think The Master was like his The Big Year was a Steve Martin, Jack Black, Owen Wilson movie. Footloose, the remake of Footloose, really bad. The Skin I Live In, I actually saw in the theater with with English subtitles. A little
Why
bit
didn't you do it
scary
in like
for me.
French subtitles?
It wasn't offered to me. Margin Call. Do you remember Margin Call? I actually really like
Is
that
that
movie.
Michael Douglas?
No, that's Kevin Spacey, Paul Bettany, Jeremy Irons, Zachary Quinto. Basically, it's like, you know how like what's that movie you and I like?
Big Short?
Yeah, Big Short.
Yeah.
It's the that movie, but it's a more serious version from the side of the company.
And do you really like it because of Kevin Spacey? Is that why?
No,
you
I
brought it
was
up?
going to say, CJ's always telling me how much he just loves Kevin Spacey in and out of his movies.
You get me shot, guys,
Why do you always say we're gonna get you shot?
because you are. In
No, we're
Time, do you remember In Time? Justin
Yeah,
Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake. I
Van
really like the
Savory.
concept.
Olivia
and then the
Wilde.
movie wound up under-delivering, in my opinion. But I love the concept.
Puss in Boots.
Nah, mid.
The Rum
Last
Diary.
Wish though. Puss in Boots Last Wish. Okay, now we got a movie. Now we're talking.
I remember the promotion for this movie was so crazy. Okay. My local theater had so much promotional material for it. I thought it was going to be the biggest movie of the year. It was called Tower Heist.
Oh, I saw that with Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, Ben Stiller, Eddie Murphy, Casey Affleck, Alan Alda, Matthew Broderick. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that was the biggest movie of the year.
It wasn't.
Yeah, Tower Heist Mania. You don't remember?
How about a very Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas?
People were doing flash mobs.
Well, hold up. That is movie of the year right there.
I like
They
the
get
part
the Christmas approach, you know?
I like the part when we saw Santa's exposed cock and balls.
Personally, my favorite.
J. Edgar.
I felt like I could smell them through the screen.
I saw J. Edgar the same day I saw
Was the movie
Jack
in
and
4D?
Jill.
Ew, why would you ever go to see Jack and Jill?
Oh, I
Nothing
had to.
about that movie
I told
looked
What's
you,
good.
my name? Dunkachino. Great movie.
Arthur Christmas. You guys remember Arthur Christmas?
Is this the sequel to Arthur?
That when he gets his
No.
library card?
Having fun isn't hard when you got a library card. On my birthday that year, I saw The Muppets.
Jason Sudeikis from Arrested Development.
Yeah, Jason Segel
Yep.
from Arrested Development. Amy Adams, too. Rashida Jones. The Artist, which I think won Best Picture that year.
Yeah, it
came
did
out
win
really
Best
late
Picture.
in the year. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy was a popular movie that came out that year. We're in December now. Alvin and the Chipmunks Chipwrecked I saw in theaters.
Again, ew, why?
Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows the same day I saw Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol.
Oh, those talk about two movies that rule.
Oh, wait, is that discombobulation?
In the game of Book of Shadows?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was a really terrible meme for a while.
The Adventures of Tintin came out in the end of the year. I'm looking in the Land of Blood and Honey. I did not see. That's a directed by Angelina Jolie movie.
Wow, and you were always on record saying how you refuse to watch anything directed by a woman.
Gonna get me killed. We bought a zoo, which I saw. The Darkest Hour, War Horse.
Oh man, that's talk about a fucking tearjerker.
Yeah. How about Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close came out on Christmas Day?
Talk about one that wanted to be a tearjerker.
Yeah. And then the Iron Lady, Meryl Streep. Yeah, just total Oscar bait.
Big time.
Yep. All right, that's every movie I saw in 2011.
Wow.
That's a lot of
And
movie.
you have a letterboxed review written for each one?
No. All right. Hey, how about the movie, huh?
What movie?
Cars 2.
What movie are we watching today?
Tell us, CJ, what movie are we watching today?
Oh, Fast 5 came out in 2011 too, by the way.
Great movie.
You're keeping me on the edge of my seat. What movie are we watching, CJ?
These are the moments where I leave in all the extra air.
No, you don't.
I do.
Really?
I do. I often do.
Why?
Well, I only do it whenever I say I'm going to leave all of that in. I'm
God
never
damn
joking. I'm never joking when I say I'm going to leave all of that in.
All right, let's
'Cause
just
I
stare
can't
at him.
Remember? We're watching
You got this. It's
Tropic
only
Thunder.
Nope, it's only written at the very top of the show notes that you supposedly have up.
I can't find the tag.
Oh my goodness.
I thought this
Little-
was a bit.
Peek behind the curtain, ladies and gentlemen and MBs. Peek behind the curtain.
The Big Lebowski.
There
Hey,
you go.
the Big Lebowski!
Woo!
Some friends you two turned out to be.
It is not a bit, Critter. It
Oh
is not a
no!
bit.
Oh my!
What?
We've had a chat for like 2 weeks about this.
Yeah.
Shut up.
You should have downloaded the. You should have bought the DVD already.
Yeah. Good save.
Thank
so,
you.
The Big Lebowski, Gaffey, you are the one who brought this movie to the table. Why don't you speak to your experience with this movie first?
Oh
When did
man!
you first see it? Your whole relationship with this movie. Divulge.
All right, so I have a weird relationship with this movie, and it's kind of become one of my favorites ever. So back when I was just like 21, 22 or something like that, I was having a real good day with buddies, maybe on something, and we decided to put on The Big Lebowski, which I had never seen before, but also put on The Emperor's New Groove. So we muted the audio for The Big Lebowski and played it so the video for The Big Lebowski was playing while listening to Emperor's New Groove. Found out there's some similar voices between them, and it made it just a really quality experience.
I like
But
it.
because I'd never seen it, I did in fact watch it again later, and it's become one of my favorite movies. Actually, I think I don't want to spoil it because I have heard that neither of you have seen it. But I think there's something about it that just really stands out. It's very quotable, obviously. And it's kind of just changed the way that I look at movies altogether and kind of the experience I can get from them.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, we're excited to have you share this movie with us and for us to all talk about it after. CJ, why don't you talk about your experience with this movie real quick?
I know very little about the movie. I was reading years ago a film book. I don't remember what book it was. I don't even have it anymore. But basically it was talking about how like there's like some very Zen Buddhist attitudes in Lebowski. And then that kind of got brought back to Jeff Bridges, and he's like, well, there's no religion in our movie. And then someone explained to him, like, no, like, this is, like, very much, like, very Zen or spiritual thing. So there's, like, spiritual overtones. It's, like, very, like, I don't know. It kind of changed his perspective on his performance, which I found interesting. Apart from that, and we found out that we had a very similar experience last week as we were closing. I started watching this movie in high school when it was back when it was on Netflix. I watched the first 30 minutes and fell asleep in my chair. So I have no memory of what happens in this movie. I think there's something with a rug. I think the rug is really important. And
It does really tie the room together.
It does.
and I don't know anything else about the movie. Tommy, what about you? What's your relationship with this movie?
So this is a movie I also have never seen. Unlike CJ, I do think I know a fair bit about this movie just because I feel it's pretty pervasive in the cultural zeitgeist. I feel like it's referenced a lot. I've seen, a handful of scenes and quotes out of context, just like in other things. I know generally what it's about. I am aware of just how well that rug ties the room together. And the reason why I'm pretty aware of how well it ties it together is because I, too, actually started this movie in high school and fell asleep 30 minutes in while sitting in the chair in the living room. But I do remember a fair bit of those first 30 minutes, but I have no clue where this movie ends up going. I have no clue how things ultimately play out. I just really kind of know the players involved in the initial setup. So have not seen it, I'd say.
Oh
right.
man, so I'm so excited, but also so nervous. You're both gonna hate it.
All
right. Well,
there's only
don't
one
say
way to
that.
find out.
Gaffey, we're gonna take our headset off. Why don't you tell the audience what your prediction is for how we'll feel about it, and
Yes,
you
and
can DM us when you're done.
Yes.
All right, can do.
All right, headphones are coming off.
All right, now that's just you and me. So this movie, if you haven't seen it already, it has a story that's just kind of all over the place. It's obnoxious. It's a little dumb. And I think something that's kind of beautiful about it, and at first watch through, you're just like, huh? What? Because it just kind of ends. Nothing gets resolved. It doesn't follow conventional plot. So I think there's something to kind of get from it, that it's about the journey, not the destination. As cliche as that is, but it's just different how most movies kind of have to fit a formula now. But it's very enjoyable the whole way across. So on a first watch through, I don't think maybe they'll like it, and especially some of Tommy's choices listening to some of these other episodes, I think he might be a little more purist, where I think I go in to have a good time. So I hope they do, but I guess we'll find out, right? Anyway, I'm going to message them now, and I hope we all enjoy this together. Yeah.
Well, nice and cozy, nice and warm, just how I left it. I love when the seat that I got up from is still nice and warm.
I got donuts, so I'm good.
Oh, wow.
You went and bought donuts during...
No, I got into another fight at McDonald's and they gave them to me.
Donuts at the movie theater?
No.
Oh, not allowed. Not
Terrible.
allowed.
Sell them there.
Straight to jail snack, actually.
Believe it or not, straight to jail.
All right. Well, everyone, we are going to transition into watching The Big Lebowski now. If you would like to join the three of us in our viewing experience, check the show notes. There is a link there to the commentary track where all of the sync instructions will be. But I guess if you want to do that, you can pause the show in just a moment. Otherwise, stick around. And if you're going to pause the show, you should pause it right now.
You like it?
Now,
I was talking about my rug.
You're not interested in sex?
You mean coitus?
I like it too. It's a male myth about feminists that we hate sex. It can be a natural, zesty enterprise.
I mean,
However,
I know one thing for certain. Things that are and aren't real. The female orgasm is a myth.
yeah, I thought we already came across that, 20 years ago or something.
It was
Science.
just the other day, Gaffey told me that the clitoris doesn't exist because he's never found it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See it to believe it.
I don't need it. Can't be important.
I'm sorry if... Call for you, dude.
Do you remember when we were at GDQ and I said I didn't realize that peanuts tasted like peanut butter?
Yes.
Is there a follow-up to that?
No, I saw him eating stuff
Gaffey
and I
should.
was like, all right, you bring us in.
Okay. Welcome back to The Film is Okie Dokie, where we just watched a film, even though it was really not that short ago, and we talk about if it was okie dokie or not.
You killed it.
That was actually
Thank you.
Woo! Our first
Stop it, you
guest
guys.
re-intro.
I gotta
Wow.
say, like, that's better than any of the ones that I've fucking done.
No,
Not better
I
than
don't
the
believe
ones I've
that.
done. No way, no how.
Fuck off.
Well, it's not a competition,
Oh,
We'll ask
everything's
the
a
fans.
competition. I heard, though, Gaffey, that you recently got into a competition with an avian.
Yeah, I brought it up during the movie because there's a very famous scene with a marmot And yeah, so I got attacked by a goose, and it's been over a week now, and my knee kind of looks like a potato. It's really gross looking.
Can I see?
All right.
Yeah, the pants don't go up, so I'm gonna have to take them down. Is that okay?
Sure,
Oh!
that's fine. We actually
I
are
consent. I consent.
I consent. We're looking at him. We're looking at like each other for the first.
Live.
Oh Jesus!
Whoa! Yo, that goose got you.
He really did.
I got
Dude.
goosed. It was a mother goose covering her eggs and hidden in a bush. So I'm not even coffeeed up. I show up to this
Dude,
warehouse.
you did get goosed.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Although
wow.
I should clarify. Okay, at first my ego couldn't handle it. The goose didn't bite me. I fell.
Oh,
I screwed up my knee on the pavement. But I like to pretend it was a shark bite. I mean, a goose bite.
So
I was gonna say I thought that they were all intimidation.
minute, do
I couldn't
goose
believe
have
one
teeth?
didn't back down.
do geese have teeth?
I think they have sharp bills, but I could be mistaken.
I love lamb.
Google
Yeah,
says
lamb.
that geese do not have teeth.
Mm.
It was mean.
All right, so this brought up my next question, which was I asked Gaffey just recently, like a few minutes ago, if his dog Shinji would take out the goose for him, and your answer was
Yeah, he's like 30 pounds of terror. That dog. I
He's about that
almost have
life.
to stop him. He's so sweet and scared of everything, but when it comes time to scrap, he's won against 3 other dogs in fights. He never started. He's
okay.
taken out 2 birds and a mouse.
So
Did
he's
the
very
birds
Real
and
positive KD.
It's
Did the birds
crazy
and the mice
because
attack him first?
the mouse went after him, dude. The
no,
mouse was
those
Stuart Little.
those ones they might. he might have gone seeking for that one.
Wow.
It's so funny because your dog is so skittish.
Oh yeah, scared of everything. If it has
Afraid
wheels,
of
if
his
it makes
own
noise.
shadow. Yeah, like you live on like the 100th floor, and your dog is like afraid of like the turning of the earth. I don't know.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. And then that brings me to Tommy. I was just visiting you for the weekend. And if you were attacked by a goose, I want you to do these grades individually. Do you think Duncan and Edison would come to your aid?
Duncan, yes. Edison, no. I think
Play-
Edison would
yeah.
try and play more. I think Duncan might go for the kill, but only in defense. I think if I weren't attacked and he just saw the goose, it would probably be play mode.
I could definitely see that. So I'll say that So a few things that I learned from visiting with you and
Yes,
your dog.
CJ is now an expert on my dogs.
You had a few quick quips. One of them was for Edison. So you have 2 dogs, right?
I have
and
2 dogs.
They're mini Bernedoodles. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Really cute, really fuzzy dogs, really soft dogs. Duncan is about 5.
4.
4. Duncan's about 4, and he's about 18 pounds, and you say that he has the build of a center fielder, which is 100% accurate.
Mm-hmm.
I said he's a tap dancer.
Yeah.
Edison is his younger sister.
Yes.
Same mom.
Same mom.
Edison is 2.
2.
And
Yeah. 2.5. 2.
2.5, 2. Edison is 4 pounds heavier,
Mhm.
but it is like the difference between like, you know how like you can like look at someone and be like, oh, you are a softball player. Like you have the thighs of a softball player. She's like someone who like is a big thigh.
Are
Like,
you
she's-
just going around seeing people and be like, you have the thighs of a softball player?
I went to a lot of women's softball games.
Those
okay,
are
you
real
can tell.
cricket thighs you got going on.
I'm just saying, like Edison, like she could like she's only 4 pounds heavier, but she's a mass. She's
she throws
dense.
her weight.
Yeah, she knows how to use her weight. It's like all the weight's like in her body. Where Duncan's like very graceful, like Duncan's like Gregory Hines, like a tap dancer. You say that Edison is a rugby player, which is 100% true. She's always in the scrum. She will run through you. She broke my fucking crotch like 6 times by just jumping on me while I
You
was sitting on your
deserved
couch. I did deserve it. Yeah, I was in the way. But Edison, for those listening at home, I say that she's doing like river stomp. Like she's just like beating the shit out of that stage like it owes her money. But Edison is also head empty, heart full, which is another thing that you said.
Mhm.
All play. Like, but also
all
a bully.
play, all cuddles.
But a bully.
Yes.
Bullies the shit out of Duncan, dude.
Oh yeah.
Takes
Duncan-
his toys. I watched her. So they got very little ball time when I was there. It was like one day we were going to be out for a while. That dog, Edison, they had like color-coded balls. And every time her brother went for one of the balls, Edison took it. I swear one time she brought both of them back to her little hidey hole. And then he didn't have a toy. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
but what are you doing? You can't even play with both of them at the same time.
Yeah.
And then he would
She
try to
will-
go get it. And she was like, "Rrr," like
She
beating them
will
off.
take like 3 or 4 toys and put them like between her elbows and like lay on top of them so that he cannot get to them.
He tried putting
Y'all weren't
his
like
face
this as
in
kids?
there. Dude, he tried putting his head in there and she like, "Rrr," like was like beating him off. So it's funny because I almost would think Ed would jump in, but Ed would not jump in. Duncan is the loyal dog companion. He has the wolf instinct. He has the pack mentality. Ed is here for a good time.
Mm-hmm. Duncan is
Ed's a
definitely
party
ride or
girl.
die. Edison is very much just ride for everyone, dying for no one.
I think she's like a cat. Like she's here for the food.
She is here for the food, the play, the cuddles, the naps. That's about it.
Yeah. So Duncan would save you. Edison would not.
So
I
who's
would
your
agree with
favorite?
Yeah, CJ, who's your favorite?
Duncan.
Yeah. I would have guessed that.
You forced me to answer that question like 6 times.
Yeah, I can't
Oh,
believe
really?
that you would pick
Awesome.
a favorite.
I'm so
I
glad
tried
I asked
not,
him.
and you were like, no, you have to pick a
You have
favorite.
to pick a favorite. Everyone has a favorite.
Who's your favorite?
I don't have a favorite.
Shut the fuck up. So, that was fun.
How was the rest of your time in Chicago?
Hang on,
I'm
I
a
gotta
little
tell you
jealous.
about Buddy. I gotta tell you about
Ah,
Buddy.
Buddy.
Yeah. Buddy, 1000%, if I was attacked by a goose, would not help me. Unless the goose got in his personal space. Then
So
that
not until it affects Buddy directly would Buddy step in.
Buddy,
Wow.
then Buddy,
Dang.
Buddy's got like a bunch of mice on his KD. He fought another cat through a glass window and lost because obviously it was on the other side of a window. But then he beat the crap out of me. So I was like, "You asshole." Like,
Wow.
so he's about that scrapping life, but you got to get up in his zone.
I can't believe Buddy is a NIMBY.
I don't know what that is.
A not in my backyard.
Mm.
Someone who's like, yeah, let's help out all these poor people. Unless it affects me, then like I have to give up something in return. Not in my backyard.
He's not crotchety enough.
Mm,
He could be more crotchety.
mm.
He is a cuddle bug, and he likes to scrap. He's an alley cat. He likes to think he's an alley cat. But, like, he would watch me get my ass kicked by a goose, but I don't know that he'd interfere.
Mm.
But he would be there after when I was, like, laying in bed all sad. He would be next to me the whole time.
He'd be there in the hospital to help out.
He's definitely the mom that's like, where the nurse comes in, visiting hours are over, ma'am, and she's like, well, you better get me a pillow because I'm not leaving my son's side. Buddy is that mom.
Wow.
Yeah,
Buddy should get some new material.
yeah, you should. It's
That seems very cliche.
yeah. You asked me how Chicago was, Gaffey.
Yeah.
Great. We saw tons of movies, which we'll get to in a minute, but I got to tell you, I had my wisdom teeth out. And that was a couple weeks ago at this point. And my mouth has been healing this whole time. And this past weekend was the first weekend I felt like I could eat anything with impunity. And I went on the food tour of a lifetime. All thanks to my lovely host, Tommy and Jade. I stayed with them I stayed at Tommy's house in the basement. He warned me
He
it would
locked
be
you up in the
cold.
dungeon?
Yeah, I did. Right next to my
Dang.
mannequin head.
You warned me it would be cold. You only got me one night where I was like, it's actually pretty cold down here. Every other night, I was like, it's not cold. One night, I woke up sweating. I was like, hot.
That's how cold it was.
Yeah, it was so cold, it was hot. But we went on a food tour. What was the name of the diner we went to? Or do you
I
not
can't
wanna...
say.
Oh, it's super okay.
Too local.
But yeah, I went on an amazing food tour. So let me put you up on some game. We went to a local diner. I had it was like I had been up since like 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. that day. I got there. We were like, let's get some brekkie. I got chicken and waffles. Waffles, really good. This is not necessarily a Chicago thing. Waffles were really good. The chicken tenders were frozen Tyson chicken tenders.
Part about that was good.
The waffles.
Should have gotten a skillet. Should have
yeah.
gotten a skillet.
I mean, the skillet, clearly, yeah.
I wasn't in a mental position for that.
Ooh.
Then
Wait, what's a good mental condition for a skillet?
I wasn't feeling adventurous.
Do you have a pulse?
Yeah.
Hot food, yuck, could not be me.
I wasn't. I couldn't do it. So then we went to a local burger place that night for dinner. Jade said it would be a top 3 burger. It was a top 3 burger for her. Really, really good. But my stomach let me down halfway through that meal. I came back and I was like, I can't eat it. I can't eat the rest of it. I ate the rest of it for breakfast the next morning. Really good. By sheer coincidence, I did end up going back there a second time without you because my client wanted to take me to a hole-in-the-wall burger place that he had discovered, and it turned out it was the same burger place.
That's crazy.
I did not have the heart to tell him.
You
So-
should have, coward. You should have looked
you
in
had-
his face and spat on his shoes.
You had the ribs at the burger
Yeah, I did.
place.
That
How
was
were
the first
they?
time I had ever had the ribs there. They were good.
Yeah. Were they ribby or...
They were good. They were, I would say, if anything, too tender.
Yeah, you pulled out like 3 of the bones on a half rack.
Yeah.
And
There
we're
were
like,
multiple
it
times
was
where I
too
like
tender.
I was literally trying to take it, and the bone would just come clean out. So then,
Good,
by
as
the
it
end of
should be.
there should be a little bit,
A little
of
resistance.
stick there.
Yeah.
Because it
You don't
just
want
turned
it. You
into
had
me
to eat it
having
with a fork and knife.
which is what I did. I had to sit there and just eat rib meat with a fork and knife.
Bruh, like if you were in the South, they would have bitch slapped you for that. That was
Oh, yeah.
like, so it was really cool. The vibe was nice. The vibe was right. There were a bunch of obscure like music videos playing on the TV, and I knew them all, which was like, check out the big brain on CJ. But then we got into the Chicago staples, baby. We went to Gene and Jude's.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my friends in the Chicagoland area, y'all know about Gene and Jude's. But if you don't know about Gene and Jude's, Gaffey, I'm talking to you. You know Gene
I don't
and
know about
Jude's?
Gene and Jude.
Let me put you up on some game, buddy. This is the best hot dog I ever had in my fucking life. And it wasn't close. Okay? You get there, it's a shitty little stand. It looks like it hasn't been updated in like 70 years. The inside looks okay. But there's a line. And you're like, why is there a line? And then Tommy's like, nah, bruh. Usually, this line is like out the door. In the summer, it can be around the building. And I'm like,
I never said around the building.
a hot
never
dog?
said around the building.
for a hot dog? And so we get there. He's like, this is how you're going to order it. What do you want? And because we were going somewhere later for dinner, so I was like, I'll just do one. So it comes with like neon yellow mustard, onions. I got a double, so I had 2 dogs in the bun. And then it had piled high with fries on top.
They do traditionally also come with relish and sports peppers, but CJ skipped out on the relish and sports peppers.
Yeah. I just don't. I'm not a big fan of the peppers.
I feel like that could be the game changer.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So now we'll get back to the peppers now. But anyway, so I had that. That was the best hot dog I ever had in my life. It was so good that you and Jade actually went to the grocery store for me and I smuggled home to my home in New York a package of Vienna beef franks, which is the hot dogs that they use.
Mm-hmm.
So it's $85 to ship 30 of those dogs to New York, which is ridiculous.
Well, it's because of the Illinois tariffs.
Yes, you can get. By the way, speaking of tariffs and speaking of other places, you can get delivered to your home 6 Lou Malnati pizzas for like $150. So 30 hot dogs, 6 deep dish pizzas. So that night, the reason I only got the one hot dog, because I said if we weren't eating deep dish tonight, I would have gone back in there or another hot dog. But Gaffey, I'm not shitting you. Look at me. Look at me.
I was pulling up pictures. That's a good looking dog.
The best fucking hot dog I've ever had.
The best dog?
It is like one of the best. It's voted one of the best hot dogs in America, right?
It has won the America hot dog competition multiple times.
It's so good. I want to try and make it at home. Like it like change the game. And they don't sell ketchup. They don't have no ketchup.
Good.
You want ketchup? You got to go buy it at the McDonald's.
Yeah,
right?
The McDonald's next door does charge for the ketchup because people walk right next. They walk over.
What a
to
fucking grift!
No, that's good for them. Plus, don't ruin the dog.
Exactly.
Ketchup is a
ketchup.
I'm
flavor
a ketchup
suppressant.
on hot dog guy.
Yes, exact. No. When you put ketchup on a hot dog, when you take a bite, all you taste is ketchup, and it has hot dog texture. It's too overpowering.
I'm with you, dude. That hot dog was the game changer. I'm putting mustard on my hot dogs from now on. I want onions on
And
them.
no ketchup.
And no ketchup.
There you go.
At home,
Okay,
I'm
so
putting
hear
ketchup
me
on.
out. I do have
No,
a
no
strong
ketchup.
take here. I feel like even the best hot dog is still a hot dog, and I feel like anytime you have like a brat or literally any other sort of like sausage, I was like, one, I feel like I know what the meat is more consistently. Two, it's like it just tastes better.
Well, Gaffey, when you are in
Hot
Chicago
dogs?
next,
Whack.
I'm taking you to Gene and Jude's.
Okay, all right.
I'm telling
Maybe
you,
I'll stand
I'm not
corrected.
a sausage person. So like I'm not with you there, but the hot dogs, fucking, it was worth the drive. It was a drive. Like
no, it was not a drive.
I would
3
I
hours
normally-
in the snow.
I'm not gonna say how far it was.
When Gaffey, when someone says it was a drive, how far do you imagine in your head?
35
We
minutes.
30. It
Plus.
was less than 35 minutes.
It wasn't.
It was less than 35
It
minutes.
literally wasn't.
It was less
We
than
were
35
in
minutes.
traffic.
It was less than 35 minutes.
This is your fucking rain thing all over again. I swear to God.
No, it was less. I drove. I know how far it was. How
It
far it is.
rained that
It was
day.
less than 35 minutes.
Yeah. All right. Listen. Okay. Whatever. Fine. So then we went to Lou Malnati's that night. Deep dish pizza. I'm ending the debate right now. Pizza needs to be compared to similar kinds of pizza. Okay. You can't compare Chicago deep dish to New York style. Just love that you're in a world where you have both. Okay. It's different. Now
we're all at that point, right?
yeah, there's some people hashing it out, but I'm saying to you, if you're listening to this and you want to have that fight, and you got that dog in you, and you want to have that argument, the roof shingle dollar slice from New York, the signature slice, the street slice, the put one in my hand right now and put the other one in the oven while I finish paying. Take the other slice out. I'm gonna eat one while I'm paying.
This
I'm
is
gonna
a
eat
lot
one
of
as I walk out the
if
door.
I'm working at a pizza parlor and someone comes up and like, give me one slice now, put the other in the oven, take it out when I finish. I'm gonna be like, stop telling me how to do
No.
my fucking job.
That's how you
Get
do
out
it.
of here.
That's how you do it. You have one cold,
You're
one hot.
micromanaging the
Two
customer.
slices. You're no. Anyway, so that slice versus deep dish, it's the deep dish, man. It's the signature style. It's better. Okay, it just is what it is. I'm not worried about getting shot on this. I think I'm pretty well within bounds. Now, we can compare local pizzerias all day long, you know. And I don't like Dave Portnoy, but I kind of like those one bite pizza reviews. And you know what? I like giving pizza places a number score. So there you go. Do that. You don't need to compare shit to shit. But if you have to, like, compare stuff that's similar to stuff that's similar. You wouldn't compare a frozen pizza to fucking deep dish. Like, it's just not the same. And the other thing about deep dish is I look at it and I'm like, bruh, it's not big enough, man. There's 4 of us. I could eat that. I could eat that whole pizza. Or I could eat another slice. And
Real
then
quick,
I
Gaffy, have you
can't.
had deep dish?
Oh yeah, a
Okay.
big fan.
And then I fucking can't. It's one of the only foods in the world. My eyes are bigger than my stomach. I had 2 slices. And I couldn't do it.
That's a lot of cheese.
We also had the world's worst skillet cookie because my side of the skillet had no cookie. It was just whipped cream.
Oh,
Yeah, it was also a lot of whipped cream. Like,
Yeah, that was an absurd amount of whipped cream.
yeah, you were eating it like just
Oh,
the
yeah.
whipped cream.
I freaking love whipped cream. Freaking
Yeah.
give me a bottle of whipped
Mouthfuls.
cream.
Yeah, seriously, dude.
I deep throat that shit.
He
man,
fucking
the poor
went in,
viewer
dude.
doesn't get to, or listener doesn't get to see that, but it was
Yeah,
quite
his
a sight.
eyes crossed when he did it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And then we went to the next day. They took me to Portillo's. I got it dry. First, to start off, I got it dry.
Okay, you can't say free of context.
Why
got it dry.
Why don't you fucking explain what it is?
No,
then?
no. You didn't even say the type of food you got. You just said
All
that
right.
you got it
I'm
dry.
having
All
it.
right.
In my
It's a
mind,
beef.
when I hear someone get something dry, I go a different place.
Fine. Her pussy was dry. No,
Oh, crass.
Wow,
Yeah.
gross.
like the Sahara. No. Anyways, so I got beef. Okay, Italian beef. Walked in Portillo's, got an Italian beef. I wanted it dry because I wasn't thinking the texture of the dip was gonna make it good for me, and I got it plain. I got nothing on it. And I had the
Why?
fries and the. Cuz, dude, it's my story. Let me finish. And I ate it, and I said, "This is really fucking good. This is really fucking good." I'm going back up there. I'm getting the fucking peppers, and I'm getting it dipped. And I went up there, and I accidentally ordered a whole one, like a big one. And I was like, "Oh shit!" I ate fucking.
You
I ate
didn't
the
order
thing.
peppers.
Mine had peppers on it.
You had peppers on your second one?
Yeah.
The second one that I had a 1/6 of?
Yeah,
There were no peppers on that.
maybe on your piece.
Hmm.
He did give me the bigger one where all the stuff fell off.
You got the big beef.
Yeah.
But
So-
you have an aversion to things like soggy bread, but the dipped beef was good enough to overcome.
The dip beef, the dry beef was amazing. The dip beef was miles ahead. It was so good. It was better than the hot dog. Couldn't believe it. And then it was so good we went back there the next day. And I had
Wow.
to get one before I got out of town. I was like, I ain't getting this again for like a few months, maybe a year. Like I gotta get my fill.
And this is the exact food. When you were in Chicago 3 years ago, I was like, you guys got to go to Portillo's and get a dipped beef. And you guys went to the Billy Goat Tavern.
Okay. Not my decision. It was not my fault. We went to the Billy Goat Tavern because we were on Navy Pier. I don't think there's a Portillo's on Navy Pier.
Mm-mm.
Yep. So I went where there was food. I got a burger though. The burger was good. Very windy on Navy Pier. So yeah, Portillo's amazing. Then I had a grilled cheese for the first time. My mom wanted me to let everyone know she did make me grilled cheese when I was a kid, but it's before my memory formed, and that
What memory?
I know, and that apparently, like around the age of 3, my palate completely changed. So I just wouldn't. I used to eat everything that you put in front of me, including like the silverware and glass jars. And then I was like, ew, I can't eat this. This is gross.
You're like the
So-
Grinch eating glass.
I know. Yeah. It was just like a greasy black peel. So yeah. And then where else did we go? No, we had
We
your.
did.
Hold up.
We
I gotta
went
ask
to-
about this grilled cheese. It's been such a long time coming. First off,
Yes,
who made this grilled cheese? Did Tommy
Jade
make it?
did.
Jade made
did.
it. Was this a quality grilled cheese or a real? You're at home. This is a shit tier grilled cheese,
This-
like Kraft slices.
I'll
Which also
give
hits.
the input on this since I have actually had grilled cheese before. Jade made like a legit nice grilled cheese.
Ooh,
It was like
okay,
an
okay.
artisan loaf of bread. It wasn't just like bagged sliced bread. And not Kraft singles. It was
Real cheese.
well, I wouldn't say it was. It's not like deli cheese where you get it from the deli, but it was like the nice Sargento packaged cheese. So I'd say a nicer cheese.
Okay, okay.
I liked it. She said she was okay if I never had another one again. She just wanted me to be honest. I said, yeah, I liked it. My thing was a little less cheese, maybe, and maybe a little more like I would have probably burned it because I like things like crunchy. It was still pretty crunchy. I mean, it was a really nice loaf of bread. I really liked it.
I
You
thought
only-
it was one of the greatest grilled cheeses I had ever had.
Fuck off. Also, Lou Malnati's is better than Giordano's.
Oh yeah, that's not a debate.
Yeah, I if I were to go back in time and be like, how could I adjust my order at Lou Malnati's? A little extra sauce. I would have said that. Can we do extra sauce?
Yeah.
Yep. Also, that pizza ended up having spinach on like more than half the pie. I had some spinach on my pepperoni pizza. It was pretty good.
And you didn't die.
I didn't die. I ate it.
Yay.
Yeah. What else? And then we had your homemade pizza. You made your pizza. Tommy has a pizza recipe. And again, not to be liberal with the superlatives, probably the best homemade pizza I ever had.
Let's freaking
Nice.
go.
Like, many try. I'm gonna tell you this, okay? The picture's actually really good, Gaffey. I'm gonna send you the picture I took of it. And
I took better pictures.
Fine. You like your pictures better? Send him the picture then.
I took better pictures.
Go ahead.
I'll send the pictures. Why don't we both send our pictures?
I was gonna say I will tell you who took a better picture.
Fine. Okay. We'll do that then. Hang on, I'm texting it to you.
Oh, good. That way I can keep it secret.
Yeah.
Wow, I can't see. You didn't. I sent mine in our Discord group. I can't see the picture you took, CJ.
Fine,
You're bad.
hang
I'm
on.
ashamed of it.
Fuck off. Okay, those are good photos. Mine's more like visually like artistic.
I am loving, seeing the two different styles going on here.
You can't even see one of the pizzas in the picture. It's so far out of focus.
Yeah, but like it's cascading. It's
Yeah, exactly.
It's a whole scene going on here.
All right. Now I'm gonna give you my honest feedback on the pizza. Best homemade pizza I ever had. I feel like one thing that's maybe missing is maybe a little more gluten development, but I know it's harder to get that at the lower temperatures of your oven. Maybe getting higher gluten content flour would would make it more chewy.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe not a piece of garbage oven. Yeah, that's all he's saying.
Right.
Wow, is that what I'm
Right.
fucking
Just
saying?
cook better. Yeah.
Is that
Right,
what I'm
right.
fucking saying? Fuck off.
Uh-huh.
I've given you so many comments on this. The one thing that really happens a lot is when people make homemade pizza is they just buy regular mozzarella, and what happens is that expends a lot of moisture, and you get greasy, pissy pizza.
Yes.
The other thing
this
that
is true.
happens is that you use regular ass jarred sauce, and if you do that and you have pissy, shitty mozzarella, you get that orange neon thing all over the place, and it's not good. So, kudos, really good pizza. I can tell you put a lot of work into it, and it's really good.
I know what I'm doing.
He knows what he doing. But yeah, so best thing I ate on the trip, Portillo's. Went there twice. I had 3 beefs. Second best thing I had on the trip was the hot dog, and then Lou Maldonado's acorn dog.
World famous acorn dog. Get it right.
Acorn dog. Yep.
But we do need Gaffey to answer. Gaffey, who took a better picture of the pizza?
You know what? I have to give this one to CJ.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I can't even tell what
And-
type of pizza it is in back.
I hate to give anything to him, but it looks glistening. I feel the whole scene. I feel homey. Yours, it's very like, you know what? I can see the details of the pizza though.
So
Yours
really,
looks like the thing it is.
mine looks like our accurate depiction.
They wouldn't hang yours in a museum, though.
They would not to either.
But I mean, like, look, can we just appreciate how perfectly cut it is in the picture CJ took? Like, look at how there is not a slice, a single sliver of pepperoni on the other side because
Real
I cut that pizza so well.
craftsmanship.
We're not complimenting your picture, CJ. We're complimenting my cut job. Stop posing.
Don't cut. Save lives. Really quick, we did go to the Art Institute of Chicago. That was a beautiful place. Loved that. I got to see American Gothic, and Nighthawks, and Degas, and let's see, who else? Rembrandt, Van Gogh, Georgia O'Keeffe.
I didn't know
Yeah,
all these people were there. Where did you see them at? I didn't see them.
I met him in the bathroom.
That's why you took so long in there.
Yeah, Georgia O'Keeffe showed me her flowers.
Nice.
And then we saw movies. We actually saw a lot of movies while I was in town, which, honestly, amazing trip. As soon as I am welcome back, I will go back.
Oh
And
my
I
god,
didn't
the
get
follow
kicked
up.
out
Did
of
you get
anywhere.
nachos?
No.
I did not get nachos.
No, but he did something fucking worse.
I did do something better.
He did something much worse. We're not there
I
yet.
did something better.
Let's go through the movies we watched. So, you want to explain your and Jade's system of picking
I'll go
movies?
through this. So Jade and I watch a lot of movies together, and we have an entire list of movies that we want to watch together. So when we want to watch one, it alternating between us, we select 9 movies from our list. We call it the 9. There's a 10th option as well, which is random, but the 9 has 9 movies plus random on it. And essentially, we go back and forth, eliminating movies in a set order until only one movie remains. And we do this pretty much every time we watch movies. Oftentimes, we'll watch random movies because of it. And when we visited CJ back in October, we did the 9s with CJ's physical movie collection, which was really fun being able to have the DVD Blu-ray cases and do it all. But with CJ being here at my place, well, we just had my digital media server and library to go off of. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4 9s. We did the 9 4 times.
Plus a bonus
Plus,
film.
we went and saw a movie. Plus, we also threw on a movie that turned into us watching it.
So that's 6.
Yeah, so we watched 6 movies in total while CJ was in town.
That's
The
so
first
crazy.
movie that we watched while CJ was in town over the span of these 3 days was Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Another Coen Brothers movie like the one we're talking about here today.
One of my favorite movies.
Very great movie. The second movie we watched, which CJ had never seen, was Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy.
One?
The first one. Yeah, CJ had never seen Anchorman.
Somehow?
I didn't even know
somehow.
who was in it. I didn't know what it was about. I didn't know.
How?
I
feel like it's been such a cultural zeitgeist, like just everybody
I'm with you.
references Anchorman.
I
all the
knew-
time.
I
Whether you
knew
like it or
that-
not.
I knew some of the big jokes,
Awful to
like
miss.
that really escalated quickly. 60% of the time it works all the time. Like I knew some of the big jokes, but I didn't know anything about it.
And what did you think of it? Let's just get hit with that. What were your thoughts?
I think that if I had seen it at the time, maybe I would find it funnier. I just think it's a dumb comedy. I mean, there were some moments, like, I did think Brick was really funny. Steve Carell's character was really funny. I love Lamp. Like, that was really funny. But, like, it's just, man, I don't think Will Ferrell's that funny. In the movies that he made in the 2000s, I just don't think any of them are particularly funny.
What's your favorite of those? I would ask then.
Talladega Nights, if I had to pick one, it's probably the one I saw at the time, and because I saw it at the time, I enjoy it the most. But there's like such an irreverence to those movies. Like, spoiler alert for Anchorman if you haven't seen it. Why does Anchorman end with them in a fucking bear pit?
Because it's
like,
the story. Yeah, the panda.
Shut up.
The panda.
They end up in a Kodiak bear pit.
Yeah,
Someone
the
was
panda,
fucking-
the whole movie.
Someone did shrooms when they wrote that script.
The whole
Okay.
movie. They're building up to the panda.
Yeah, they came up with, wouldn't it be funny if Will Ferrell and Steve Carell and Paul Rudd and the other guy were in a pit full of fucking brown bears, and then they're like, let's write a script on how we get there. It doesn't make any sense. You're not saying anything.
I
you're
thought
just-
it made sense how they ended up
It's
there.
like
They
in
fell
Talladega
into the
Nights when
pit.
he has the
How
cougar in
else
the
are
car.
they get in the pit? They fall in.
Why does he have the cougar in the NASCAR? That didn't make any fucking sense either. So
I
anyway.
don't remember that scene enough to know.
But anyway, so it was dumb. I can see why people like it. I can see why it's very popular. I didn't think it was bad. I just didn't think it was that funny. But there were parts of it that made me laugh.
Mm.
You know, I think actually kind of in theme for today, but that movie as well. Sometimes it's not about the destination scene. About the journey getting there. Was it a
All
good
right.
journey?
A glimpse of your analysis for later. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't get that interested. I was just like, this is just dumb Will Ferrell stuff. Like every scene felt not connected to the scene before or after it. Like, why don't you go back to your home on Whore Island? It's like they wrote a bunch of jokes and then we're like, let's just get them in the movie. That's kind of how it felt. So
the next movie after Anchorman that we watched was a movie called Racing with the Moon, which we watched because it was a random. We did a random. Long story for how we even ended up watching it. This is a movie that I only have in my digital media collection because my grandfather requested that I add it so he could watch it and he could check it out.
yeah.
It was
Sean
fine.
Penn, Nicolas Cage. Early.
Nicolas Cage. This is like a 23-year-old
Young
Nicolas
Nicolas Cage. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny because you go through the 9, then you go to random. So we had to re-roll because there was a horror movie, and I have a veto on horror. Then we got a movie that we had watched together
in the past year, which is one of the. There's a bunch of rules for the 9.
Yeah, and that meant that we got a re-roll. So it was our like 5th re-roll.
Wait, it's important to say one of the randoms we got was Some Like It Hot, which is a movie we did here on The Film Is Okie Dokie.
Mm-hmm. That was crazy.
So that was crazy. That was absolutely wild. I'm going to skip talking about the movie we saw in theaters for now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We also watched the movie Pitch Perfect, which was one that we kind of just threw on in the background while we had like an hour to kill. And then by the time we got home later that night, we were like, let's just finish Pitch Perfect. And it turned into like an actual dedicated watch.
Yeah. You were tired and it was like, I can go for another hour. And I was like, oh, finish Pitch Perfect. I liked that movie. I had never seen it.
I know.
Oh, Pitch Perfect rules.
Yeah. It actually was good enough that I'm going to watch the other Pitch Perfect movies.
How many are there at this point? I do feel like they
3?
milked the hell out of it.
3. There is a 4th apparently being made.
Hang on. Put 3 up with your hand again.
German 3.
You do the German 3?
It's the American Sign Language 3.
Oh. Gaffey, how do you do 3 with your hands?
Like a normal person.
Do you do fingernails out normally?
I
do 3.
You know, I don't think it's.
Yeah.
Also, I did adopt, so like 7.
Oh,
so that's always in.
Let's go. So 7.
Oh no.
No.
That's again American Sign Language for 7.
I bet.
Okay. And then so I really like Pitch Perfect. Fat Amy
Pitch
was
Perfect
hilarious.
rules.
There was a little bit like, we're sisters, we're friends. That was like a little like, okay, get the fuck on with it. But other than that, it was fine.
Then the last movie we did at my place was Goodfellas, which Jade had never seen before, which she was not a big fan.
What?
She wasn't?
No, she was not a big fan.
She said she thought it was fine. It was just a lot of men talking, if I recall.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. It is a movie for the dudes.
It
Oh no, wait, is that Joe Pesci?
I forced her. I picked 9 movies that she had never seen before.
I can't believe Joe Pesci was in this movie too, Big Lebowski.
He's in everything.
Dude, you were like, oh yeah, Joe Pesci's just in the one scene. Isn't it crazy that it's the first scene? And then Joe Pesci's not seen again for like another half hour. It was like,
Yeah.
oh, funny.
The movie started in one of the
What do you
first
mean funny?
Jade had
Yeah.
never seen it, and she knew nothing about it. So very early on, she was like, "Oh, Joe Pesci's in this." I was like, "It's only just the one scene. Don't get your hopes up."
I love the part where there's the kid who's clearly doing his best Joe Pesci impression to be a young Tommy. He's like, "Hey, Hendry." Sounds good. Like, wow, this fucking mush mouth. I'm glad he only has like 3 lines.
Whoa, you can't call Italians that, CJ.
Mush
Wow.
mouth. There you go. But
And
actually,
then-
we did see one other movie.
Yes, and we saw it in theaters. Gaffey, do you have a guess for what the movie we saw in theaters was?
Oh, man. Oh, it has to be the Minecraft movie.
Yeah, it was.
The cultural phenomenon.
Let's go.
Oh.
CJ, myself, Jade, and my roommate, the 4 of us, we all went and saw a Minecraft movie, as it's
Okay.
titled.
Now,
Did you see the properly edited one or the improperly edited one? Which
Whoa,
is
hold
apparently
on, there's-
circulating.
I didn't hear that.
So apparently in some theaters around America, they released a version of the movie that just hasn't finished like post-production. So it's just like Jack Black in front of green screen.
Oh,
I mean, they
that would've
real
ruled.
quick, I think it got pulled away. But
No, we saw the
man,
right
that'd
one.
be great.
So this was a huge theater. It was probably the biggest theater I've ever been to. And I told that to Tommy. He said, "Really? It's not even the biggest theater I go to." And I was like, "Okay, damn, make me feel small."
Get fucked.
The screen was huge. The chairs were
Get
really
fucked.
cool.
1 Tommy, 0 CJ.
Yeah,
We are talking about Twilight Zone, CJ.
the chairs were really cool. So we saw the movie. We're gonna do some Minecraft spoilers in a minute, but I gotta say the unspeakable fucking horrible thing that he did to me.
Had a hole in the popcorn bucket, huh?
No, I was
Again?
the only thing I'm afraid to eat right now was popcorn because I don't want to get popcorn
Oh.
stuck in my fucking tooth
Yeah.
holes. What did I fucking say? He
Shoes.
smuggled in snacks,
Oh, of course.
but he smuggled in my snack, and then
Even
tried
better.
to. No, he tried to give it to me.
Yeah, I tried to give you your Raisinets. I was being a
I-
good friend.
I was not
First off,
joking around.
Raisinets.
First of all, fuck off. Raisinets are awesome. Second of all, I was so mad at him. I was not playing. I was shoving his hand away. I was throwing my Raisinets back at him. I was like, "How fucking dare you? How dare you do this to me?"
This is a
I'm
very
hearing a really
unreasonable response.
ingrateful
I-
friend.
Almost
I don't
went out to
know.
the lobby and bought legitimate Raisinets because you sullied the
Yeah,
theater with
these
your fucking
Kmart
thievery.
Raisinets, not unedible.
They were brand name Raisinets too.
Yeah, I only buy the brand.
I
name.
only like them when they cost $7.
Exactly.
Hey, listen.
So
with tariffs, it's 11.
I smuggled these Raisinets in, which, again, the rule of the movie theater is as long as you put in the bare minimum effort to conceal the snack, they don't give a shit. And I'll walk in there with
It's
my water
the
bottle.
principle.
No, they don't care about the principle.
I don't care if they don't care. I care. It's my principle.
What? No. Why are you trying to save money on
Everyone
the
has
theater's
to
behalf when
have
you
a
can
code.
No, they
This
don't.
is a bad code.
This is a first off, no, they
You can-
don't. Second
First
off,
of
this
all,
is a bad code.
you have to have a code. Second of all, you can disagree with my code. I don't smuggle food into the theater. It's ethically wrong.
Why is it ethically wrong?
Because, man, they sell fucking snacks right there. Buy their
There's no
snacks.
ethical consumption
they're-
in capitalism.
They're marked up like 300%.
All right, you fucking Marxist.
No, I mean that's true though. But
You're not. You're good for it.
But it's like, what? Am I going to pay $9 for Raisinets there, or am I going to pay $3 at a Walgreens and sneak it in? I'm going
First of
to
all,
pay $3 at a Walgreens and sneak it in.
I fucking want you to go back, and I'll pay for it. Go to the next time you and Jade go to the movies, buy a box of Raisinets and get me a receipt and tell me they cost $9.
I'm sneaking in 2 boxes now, and I don't even
No.
eat raisins.
Maybe $9 hyperbole, but still, my point stands. They
you
are
fucking do
marked up.
Costcoodle, Mr. Costcoodle.
Yeah,
How much
I'm
do
the
you
king
think
of
is a movie
Costcoodle.
theater box
I'm
of
the king of
fucking?
Costco.
Well, I'm good at Costcoodle, not AMCdle.
Okay, shut up. I'm just saying.
It took CJ a
Everyone's
second.
got to have a code. I do what I think is right. No one can fault me for that.
spending extra money, if that's right in your book.
It
being a
fucking
sucker is your
supports the
code,
theater.
I'll let you be a sucker.
It supports the theater, the thing you're there to enjoy.
Yeah,
Nope.
I pay a monthly subscription to AMC. I don't need to pay extra concessions.
Straight to
there.
the
That's
pocket of
extra
John
money.
Regal.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to save a little money. They don't need me subsidizing them with extra concession purchases.
Support the things you love. That's all I'm going to say. If
I
you
love
can
my-
afford it, you can do it. You're
Hey,
the fucking guy. You're one step away from cheating on your taxes.
no, I have an
This
accountant
is the
for that.
path that you're going down.
I just don't pay him.
Wait,
Yeah,
are you saying that the road to cheating on your taxes begins with the step of smuggling snacks in?
You're goddamn right it is!
99% of people who go to the movies are on the road to cheating
It's
on
a
their
long
taxes.
road. It's a
Most-
long road, but you're on the road.
No, not at all.
Yeah, you're committing tax fraud.
Not at all.
Yeah. All right. We are officially going to discuss spoilers of the Minecraft movie.
I haven't
Tommy,
seen it yet.
Are you going to see it?
Probably not.
Okay. Tommy is going to put the timestamp in here right now. So everything after this is going to be spoilers for the Minecraft movie. So it stars Jack Black. It stars Jason
Hold on a
Momoa.
second. Hold on before we go any further. I think we need to ask for consent. See, Critter, are you okay if we spoil Minecraft movie for you right now?
I do not care.
Sorry. Thank you. Go on, CJ.
Thank you for caring about my feelings.
Of course.
Okay.
CJ.
So it stars Jack Black, Jason Momoa, and some other fucking people. I don't know who they are. And you don't either, and you don't care because it is about Steve who yearns for the mines, and then he goes to the overworld, but then the evil piglins, and there's a cube, and the plot actually doesn't fucking matter. It's a movie designed to sell Minecraft to a broader audience somehow than the already billions of people that have played Minecraft. You didn't like the movie. You gave it a scathing 1-star review.
I gave it a 1.5 star review.
Oh wow.
And then lowered it.
No, I didn't.
You told me the next day you lowered it.
No, I told you I lowered Racing with the Moon.
Oh. Fair enough. I said it was like a 2.5 to, I wouldn't say, out of 5, a 2.5 to a 3. It really wasn't that bad.
So you're
I've
saying that
seen-
it's above average? 2.5 is average. 3
Fine, it's-
above
Fine,
average?
it's average. Fine,
That
it's
was
average.
an above average movie?
2.5, it's average. I gave it a 2.5. It's just fine. It's stupid. They got more adult jokes in there than I thought they were going to do. Like, there was more humor in there for, like, the adults that grew up playing Minecraft than I thought there was. Because I played Minecraft in high school, and I'm a taxpayer now. So, there's like a generation of people here that have grown up playing Minecraft. The Jack Black and Jason Momoa dynamic was actually cool. I like Jason Momoa in the you're a douche role, like you're a cringy douche, and everyone kind of gets that. I loved that role for him. Everything else, I thought it was weird that in a world of, like, we already know exactly what Minecraft looks like, they decided the aesthetic should be rounded cubes. That didn't make any sense. Everything should be fluffy.
Oh, it had RTX on. Oh.
Yeah.
They had a custom, graphics pack. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It was fine. There were some funny parts, like the ending with the knife, the little knife. That was really funny. Otherwise, it was just okay. Like, I don't regret seeing it. I don't regret the time I went to go see the movie. If, like, a kid that I was watching, like my godson or like a niece or nephew was like, hey, can we watch the Minecraft movie? I'd be like, I'd watch that again. Sure, it's not the worst child movie that I've ever sat through. So that's my review of the Minecraft movie. Tommy, what did you think of the Minecraft movie?
It wasn't very good. In fact, I'd say it was bad, but it wasn't like, it's not deserving of outrage. Just wasn't that good. It had funny parts. I laughed, but most of the stuff was unfunny. Most of the stuff was inconsequential in the end. Now, here's a question for you.
He also
Gaffey, as someone
laughed
who's
the
not-
entire fucking time.
No, I didn't.
Did or did not
Yes, you
laugh?
did.
Or-
I didn't laugh the entire time. I
You did.
laughed at the funny jokes.
Yeah.
Did you
Or-
love
Scattered
the
throughout.
chicken jockey?
No, that reference was lost on me.
I didn't know. I've seen
now-
it online and people losing their mind. I'm like,
I used to call
Okay.
them Vern Troyers, the little zombies.
nice.
So when you hear that Jason Momoa's character is a professional gamer, his identity is based around this fact that he's a world champion gamer.
Ninja and Fortnite.
Right. And then they go to the Minecraft world, the overworld. In what ways do you expect his professional gamerism to manifest there in this world based on a video game? How do you think that this might apply itself?
He's gonna know where the diamonds are.
Okay. Anything else?
In the Minecraft world, he's going to become Dream, put on the mask, and cheat.
I like it. I like the guess. No, what if I told you it had zero impact on
didn't.
anything?
Nice.
And he
Okay.
didn't do a single thing that had anything to do with the fact he was a professional gamer in the overworld. That's just a smattering of how inconsequential most of this movie was. It had a
Side
few
thought.
good bits, but generally it was pretty bleh.
Gamers come in all shapes and sizes. I
Mhm.
feel like Jason Momoa as your professional gamer example is an odd choice.
It is a bit of an odd choice. It's not.
He's
I don't
far
think it
too
was
tall,
wh-
muscled, and beautiful. for
I
that.
mean, he is the world champion.
At what?
Some made up arcade game.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Some
it
totally
was-
made up thing.
It was weird. So, ultimately,
Don't waste my time. Got it.
I would say it would be not a bad time with friends if inebriated.
Okay. So
Good friend group movie.
in a
we all-
crazy turn of events, just some random stats stuff that I'd heard. Apparently, the U.S. has held like we've just generated like the most grossing movie for like 20 years or something crazy like that.
mhm.
And this year, it's looking like for the first time since pretty much any of us have been alive, that it's going to go to some movie in China. Because Minecraft is pretty much the last AAA film that we have coming out.
Is
And
it that
I think it's doing
Neja
well,
2
but
movie?
yeah. Mm.
Asia,
Wow,
too.
I'm amazed you're in the know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm only in the know about it because it's like it's the highest grossing animated movie of all time. It passed Inside Out 2.
Yeah, it's killing the Chinese market. Crazy.
Wow.
Everybody's taking
Like
like
Tiananmen
vacation from. Yeah, the kids get to leave the factory for the day even to go watch this movie.
I'm gonna put an end to the Minecraft spoilers here. By the way,
Good. I
So-
feel like people have weathered that storm, made it out to the other side.
shut up.
That was a barrage of spoilers that we had, by the way.
Fuck
Oh,
off.
I was gonna say, wait, I still don't know how the story ends.
Good. We'll leave it that way.
The whole
We'll leave it that way.
thing was dumb. So, any Hoosers? Yeah. So we saw a ton of movies. We went on a food tour. Went to the Art Institute. I played with the dogs a lot. The dogs crushed my nuts. I slept in the basement. My feet were cold one night, and it was a really great trip. And I love you.
The reason why CJ's feet were cold was because
Wow,
all of
don't-
my saliva was getting really cold on his feet.
I thought you were gonna say the actual reason that my socks got off, and I'm glad that you didn't.
I like to imagine, I don't know why, but CJ's down the basement. He gets real chilly. He's wearing, for some reason, like a onesie. And it's like, Tommy, I'm cold. Can I come join you?
What becomes?
Oh, not the toes, dude. Not the toes.
Play my toes like the harmonica.
Oh
No,
my god!
and that airbed was a game day player. You were 100% right on the airbed.
Wow.
For like a month, I've just been sending him packages.
Yeah, many
and-
unsolicited.
They were for me, so I solicited them to myself.
Been slowly moving in
CJ sent
over Amazon.
CJ bought and sent to my place an airbed, a body pillow, a fan, which I have multiple fans, and CJ didn't even open the fan.
Nice.
Sheets, which CJ left here. A mattress topper.
Yeah.
A pillowcase for the body pillow.
Which
Am I
I
forgetting
took,
anything? You
and
took
the
the
body
pillowcase?
Yeah. So, yeah, that's about it.
Between this
Listen.
and the Raisinets, I'm thinking someone needs to come down a peg. He's in that next tax bracket. I see.
No. I have sleep anxiety, and I didn't want the trip to be ruled by my inability to sleep in his house. So I made sure I was very comfortable. Also, every fucking time I've ever slept on an air mattress, I've woken up on the floor. I've never survived the night on an airbed. I was like, what am I gonna do, man? Like, if I pop his air mattress, I'm gonna feel like a grade A asshole. So I preemptively shipped him a brand new in the box air mattress in case something happened. Now, he also has a warranty on it, so we could get it replaced. But I would just feel like a big dickhead if I went and slept at his house and I broke his air mattress. So tell me what I did wrong.
Not trust your friend when he's like, CJ, you don't got to do that.
The body pillow was good, though. I actually
Wow,
ordered one
changing
for
the
my house.
subject.
I also thought that was kind of a joke. What waifu did you have on it?
No, it was gray. I did
Not
call
after
it my
you were
pillow.
through with it.
Bruh.
Hey,
Ah!
Joke's on you. You said you wanted to buy a pillowcase for it.
Yeah, so I don't have to look at the formerly gray body pillow.
Oh my god. It's a good body pillow though.
The dogs will love it.
Yeah, it's Edison's new boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
All right, should we transition into the movie?
God, please.
All right, so we watched The Big Lebowski by the Coen brothers.
Wow, we
Starring
did.
Jeff Bridges, John Goodman, Julianne Moore, Steve Buscemi, John Turturro, and David Huddleston.
Who?
Mike Jones.
Not familiar.
I
So-
have to say, you guys have been killing me, by the way. I was so excited to show you this movie. We finished, I'm like, off air, I'm like, so at least tell me, how'd you feel about
does
it?
that
And Tommy
shit to
is
me
so
every
serious. He's
fucking
like,
time.
nope, can't talk about it. Gotta wait for
Every
post.
fucking time.
And I know that this is going to be after the trip. I'm like, I have to just blue ball myself for this
Mm-hmm.
cinematic experience.
Yeah, you gotta wait.
It's
No
torture.
spoilies.
It was
No
torture.
spoilies. Well, how about we end this torture by having us all kind of go around and just kind of talk surface level. What did we think of this movie, whether we liked it or not?
All right.
How
Why don't-
do we want to have Critter kick us off as the person who brought it in, or
Yeah.
should we do it first?
Let's do
Um,
Critter, and then let's do you, and then we'll end with me.
All right, so The Big Lebowski, obviously I recommended it. It's one of my, I'll say it's one of my favorite movies. It's kind of something I watch for comfort, something that I think is just, when the time's right, it's been a little while, like, yeah, I'll put it on again, and I'll enjoy it. And in fact, this time, even though it's a several time rewatch, I'm like, oh, there are many little things I never noticed before. And I think that's really strong in a movie.
Hell yeah! So I take it you liked it.
I like that movie. Yeah.
Hell yeah! We said I was going next.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, it looks like CJ's missing. Well, my lights are flashing. I gotta be honest, Critter.
I know.
I like this movie. I like
What?
This movie.
I was like, nah, Tommy's not gonna like it.
No, I was certainly worried going in, considering mine and CJ's history with having fallen asleep during this movie. I was certainly worried that I was going to start dozing off. But no, it was funny throughout. It's definitely a movie that I feel like would improve on rewatches. How do I word this without being too spoilery? This is a movie where, and this might sound a little redundant and oxymoronic, the main character himself is just trying to live his life, and there's a movie going on all around him, both on and off screen, and he's just trying to get through it. And I think the nature of that and the way the plot unfolds, it would lend itself really well to rewatches and just like kind of being ready for the absurdity that will unfold, even if like it's not like absurd over the top. It's just like still ridiculous, the shit that goes on and the way jokes and plot points kind of build upon themselves. So yeah, good movie, I'd say. Good movie. I liked it.
Yeah, and I think you kind of took the words out of my mouth. I was gonna say it's remarkable how the person who everyone in this movie is doing their best to do the least, right? Like the dude doesn't want to do anything. He wants to fucking not work. He wants to bowl and drink White Russians. All he wants to do.
Man after my own heart.
It's like, how do you make a movie with the main character and the main character doesn't want to be your main character? And so I thought that premise was really interesting.
And you liked it?
Yes.
Oh!
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, so the obvious one, I mean, I have to ask. I'm sorry if this is going out of order here, but the ending, I was like, I feel like that's something that's kind of highly debated on. Is like, is it a good ending or not a good ending? And did you appreciate it or not appreciate it?
Well, how about before we get too in-depth on the ending, I'll tack that onto our show notes. Let's talk first about the movie itself. Let's go through the movie, recap it. We can stop along the way and talk about any specific scenes as they come along.
Am I going through it? Is that what we decided?
Yeah, I guess Critter is up to you. You can do the recap unless you'd like to defer to us.
Oh no, I would love to have CJ do the recap, considering a couple days ago he sent a message. We're like, hey, when are we getting together for the post show? He's like, what movie did we watch again? This is going to be great.
I have a terrible memory. We were watching Gilmore Girls while I was there in town, and I have seen Gilmore Girls all the way through like twice. I have no memory of that show. I don't remember anything that happens. I don't remember any of the characters. I don't remember any of the actors. All right. So you guys ready for my totally accurate from memory synopsis of The Lebowski?
Oh, I'm
The
so
Big
excited.
Lebowski.
The Lebowski, yes.
The Lebowski. Okay. So first of all, Sam Elliott is the narrator, but also the guy at the bar. That's important, apparently. I actually want to get it so that I can, like... Yeah, okay, hang on. Alright. So, he's at the bar. But that's later. Don't worry about that right now. So, God, fuck, what is his name? Jeff Bridges. Jeff Bridges, a.k.a. The Dude, is attacked at his home. And they're like, your wife owes us money, man. And he's like, my wife? Does it look like a woman lives here? And they're like,
is this your Jeff Bridges impersonation?
That's
my wife.
My wife.
That's like just your opinion, man. That's like my Big Lebowski impression. I admit
like
it could use some work.
The white.
It could use some work.
It's not very dude-like.
The dude abides. Whatever. Shut up. So then the dude's like a bum. He went to the grocery store in like a bathrobe and like boxers. Like, it's the equivalent of kids going to the grocery store today with like an A-frame shirt and like gym shorts with like the socks and the slides. Like, he went out slovenly. Okay, you don't leave the house looking like that. My mom would have slapped the taste out of my mouth.
Good thing I don't have your mama, because I would leave the house like this.
All right, no, fuck you. So then they beat him up in his house, and he's like, they give him a swirly, and then he like coughs up a bunch of milk because he's drinking a White Russian. The dude does that a lot, dude. He drinks a lot of White Russians, and he plays a lot of bowling. Do you play bowling or do you just bowl?
You bowl.
You bowl.
Okay.
Though I do want to point out, I don't think we see the dude actually do any bowling himself in the entire movie.
That's fair.
Maybe one frame.
Maybe one frame.
So, then it's like, you owe us money. Get us the money. And then when he's like, "Nah, dude, I don't have a wife," they're like, "Ah, fuck." All right, so they piss on his rug, and then he like blacks out. He wakes up.
It's a shame too. That was a nice rug.
Yeah,
It really tied the
rug,
room together.
He says the room light tied the room together. It's a recurring joke, so remember it. Then he goes bowling, because of course he does. And he's with Walter Slubnuck, or Gobchuck, and Donnie. And that's John Goodman and Steve Buscemi, Crazy Eyes. Everyone just tells him the whole movie to shut up, Donnie. Shut the fuck up, Donnie. Right, the whole movie. So
You're
if
out
you're
of your
Donnie,
element, Donnie.
yeah, you're out of your element, Donnie. Okay. And then Walter's like, dude, you have leverage. You have the leverage. Also, Walter's kind of unhinged. He threatens to shoot a man over stepping over the line in a bowling match. It's a league play, so he takes it very seriously. So then they're like, wait a minute. There's another Jeff Lebowski. And he's the Big Lebowski. And he is kind of big.
Said the name of the movie.
But he's also like kind of a bitch. His manservant is Philip Seymour Hoffman. And Philip Seymour Hoffman then is like, look at all these things and then he comes in and he's like, you're a dumb son of a bitch. You're a slacker. You're a weedy. What do you do for a living? Go fuck yourself. I'm in a wheelchair. And that's very important because he's in a wheelchair. And that comes up later. So then he's like...
Hold on. Did he say to him, I'm in a wheelchair? Like he didn't notice?
He stood up and said, I'm in a wheelchair.
Okay, I don't remember this.
He goes, yeah. So then he's like, I just want a carpet, man. So then it's like, I'm not giving you a fucking carpet. Go out and get a job. And so then the guy he tricks the assistant and is like, hey, man said I could take any carpet I want. So he takes a carpet. Then he meets, I think, Tara Reid. Is it Tara Reid that's the wife?
Funny.
Yeah. He meets the trophy wife who's with the guy in the wheelchair, the Big Lebowski. And he also meets a nihilist dude in the pool. And then afterwards...
Nihilist, dude? Oh, nihilist. I thought you said a nihilist. I'm like, who
he doesn't believe in anything,
nihilist?
man.
This comic book motherfucker sounding guy.
So then, it's like, cool. Awesome. He goes home. He's like, I got my rug. All is well, right? Like, I'm back to drinking White Russians and drinking half and half in the grocery store in my underwear. But then, it's not okay. Because Bunny gets abducted. And he didn't pay the rent. And then the Big Lebowski's manservant, the guy who plays Capote in that movie about Truman Capote, Philip Seymour Hoffman, is like, can you please come back, sir? And then he's like, yeah, man, whatever, I'll come back. So he goes back. And there's this very dramatic scene where the Big Lebowski's talking to the dude, and he's like, my wife, she's been taken. I'm catatonic. I'm in a wheelchair. Again, he keeps saying that a lot. So then, he's like, you want me to do what? He's like, you've had an interaction with these rough and tumble ruffians. You've already become involved. So take the $1 million in this briefcase, deliver it to her ransom place, and then I'll get my wife back. Okay, right? So then he goes home and he gets the shit beat out of him again. And they take his rug that he stole from the Big Lebowski. And now you're like, damn, it really tied the room together. I just don't know why man didn't get it cleaned. Why didn't he just get it cleaned? Like he had no dog. You know?
Did the rug get stolen at this point?
It did, yeah.
Damn.
So then Walter is like, I'm going to be fucking involved, dude. I'm going to be fucking involved. He thinks it's a ruse. He thinks she kidnapped herself, Walter. Walter has the dude pick him up, and he has a briefcase, or he has a briefcase that just has his underwear in it. And then everything goes to hell. The car, like Walter also brings a gun. He's gonna shoot the guys because then they're gonna keep the $1 million in the briefcase. That doesn't happen. The And the briefcase stays in the car. Jeff jumps out of the car. No, Walter jumps out of the car. His gun goes off, pops the tire on the dude's car, and the nihilists drive off with the fake briefcase. But the dude didn't really want to do that. So then he's like, fuck, what should we do? And Walter's like, let's go bowling. So they go bowling. Okay. So far, if you're keeping score, we have the dude who's been hired by the Big Lebowski to get the Big Lebowski's trophy wife back. Even though he wasn't supposed to, he brought Walter along. And Walter made everything worse. Okay, everyone good? So
Yes.
Then they talk about at the bowling alley. He threatens to shoot a guy. And then it's like, wait a minute. Your wife is just fucking playing you. So in the beginning, you'll remember he met his trophy wife. She showed him her feet. I thought was weird, but he did. And she did. And then
CJ really liked that part.
shut the
Yeah.
fuck up. So then
Actually, we had to pause and resync because CJ wanted to keep looking.
then the
Whoa,
Big
it's like me on your
Lebowski.
toes.
Then the Big Lebowski's like, "Oh, you think where's my money?" And he's like, "I think that she like kidnapped herself, man." It's like, "Oh, you think she kidnapped herself?" And then he shows the dude an envelope with a toe with the same nail polish that she was wearing at the pool. And he's like, "This doesn't look like my fucking wife covered her own fucking toe." And then it's like, oh. Then he's like, just give him the fucking money. I want my wife back. And then it's like, fine. I'm going to tell him that you have it. Asshole. Okay. Also, while they were bowling, the car was stolen. That had the briefcase full of money in it. That's important. Okay.
$1 million?
Yeah, the $1 million briefcase.
$1 million stolen.
Yes. So, it's all kind of fucked up. Then, he gets beat up and he gets taken to Maud. Or he gets asked to go to Maud. Maud is his daughter? Is that right? Is
Yes.
the Big Lebowski's daughter.
Julianne Moore.
Julianne Moore. Maud took the rug back. Because the rug was not the Big Lebowski's to give away. So then he said, I
Can you do
want
a Maud
you.
impression?
No.
It really fits the
And
the
then
scene
there's
together.
Maud. And then she's like, I will give you 10% if you find that briefcase. Because my father got the $1 million by embezzling from my mother's foundation. So then he's like, okay, I'll get back the $1 million. And I'll get it. So, the cops find the dude's car. There's nothing in the car. There's a fucking, like, high school paper. And that brings them to this kid named Larry. And Larry is the son of, like, a guy who wrote for the television show Branded, which is a Western show.
like
that
show?
Walter really likes. I've never seen it. Then the dude and Walter visit with Larry. They don't get anywhere. Walter's like, "You're in for a world of pain," and he goes out to the fucking Lamborghini parked on the Corvette parked on the street.
Before we
And-
talk about what happens to the Corvette, could you talk about what sight they see when they walk into this house?
Oh, the man's in an iron lung.
Sure, that's one way to deliver it.
Why? What would you say?
I mean, yeah, that is what happened. But it was just so matter of fact, like, he's in an iron lung.
Oh,
Just like,
sorry.
okay.
He's in the back of this room with like all like the plastic on the furniture, and like the man Arthur is just like in an iron lung. He's like a complete impotent like old man, and Walter's like, "I just loved your work on Branded," and the man can't even turn his fucking head. And so then Walter goes out to the car, and he's like, "You're gonna tell me where the money is," and he starts beating the shit out of this like Corvette or whatever with a
Thinking
crowbar.
that the boy bought.
Yeah.
That the boy bought
The
it.
guy
with the million that
spent
he
the
stole.
money with the $1 million because the guy stole his car. He was in the car. He should have the money. Turns out it's the neighbor's car. And instead of attacking Walter, they attack the dude's car. So the dude is like, his car's fucked, right?
It was already. I mean, it was stolen, rusted. It was already a piece of garbage. So to kill it even more is like somehow possible.
So, just to get you back up to speed, the dude was hired by the Big Lebowski to get his wife back with a briefcase of $1 million. That briefcase has since been stolen because the dude's car was stolen. In addition, Maud has offered him 10% if he recovers the briefcase and gives it to her, because she thinks that her father, the Big Lebowski, embezzled all the money. Then, there's also now in the picture this other guy whose goons pissed on his rug at the beginning of the movie. That is Jackie Treehorn. Is that his name?
Jackie Treehorn.
Yeah.
World famous pornographer.
So he sets up traps to block people from breaking into his house, but he does them wrong. He does them backwards. And so basically they open the door, they walk right in, they punch him in the face, and then they take him to Jackie Treehorn. Jackie Treehorn demands to know where Bunny is. And then he's like, I'll give you 10% if you tell me where I can find the money. And then the dude says, she faked her kidnapping and Larry has the money. And then Treehorn's like, you're a fucking idiot. You couldn't get the money back from a teenager? And then it's like, oh yeah, he spiked the White Russian that he gave him. So now there's this whole hallucination sequence where they're bowling. What is it called? Gutter balls. And then he wakes up in Malibu and the police chief is like, get the fuck out of my town, boy. And then he's like, okay, cool. And then we see that Bunny is driving around with all of her toes. She drives past the dude. Okay. The dude goes home. Maud is there. Maud is waiting for the dude. You are muted.
The dude goes home. And then what happens? Immediately after opening the door and taking a step in.
Oh, he steps on the nail board?
Yeah, he trips over the nail board he put down, forgetting it was there.
Yeah, so he gets caught by his own trap.
That's just one example I wanted to call out of there's so many little setups and payoffs throughout
many.
All of these escapades.
Mm. So then Maud is there and then they have sex. And she wants to become pregnant. And specifically, she wants to become pregnant with a father that she will never have to deal with. And so the dude's like, oh, okay, cool.
She did test his virility after all. Yeah. So.
Oh, that. She kept trying to get him to go to a doctor.
He's a good man.
Please, my father's goons, please. I want you to go get your head checked. And he's like, no, I'm okay. Finally goes to the doctor. And then he's like, oh, you have a wound on your head? Pull down your pants? And so she gets he's very virile. Then they have sex, and then she reveals that her father actually doesn't have any money. He is actually a dependent on an allowance from Maud. So Maud has all the money. She gives her dad some money, because it was originally her mother's money. And then the dad, the Big Lebowski, gives the money to the trophy wife. Now, this all sounds very complicated. And it sounds complicated. The dude's role in this is not. He does the bare fucking minimum. It is just he is like a lifeless piece of kelp caught in the current. Through no fault of his own, he is swept up in this, right? Because he has a similar name. Okay. Then the nihilists are at a diner for some reason, and they reveal, and you look down and see that the one nihilist lady has 9 toes.
I think it's pronounced Swedish.
So then the dude and Walter go to the Big Lebowski and find out that Bunny has come back. She just basically left town for a little bit. Bunny's nihilist friends faked her kidnapping. and because they knew that she was out of town. Lebowski wanted the cover of the $1 million for the ransom so that he could embezzle the money from the foundation, from the family charity thingy, and then was like, no, it's because the blackmailers disappeared. So he was like, this $1 million was the ransom money. People won't go looking into it, whatever, right? But the nihilists never had money. There was no $1 million in the briefcase. Larry never had the money.
What?
The only one that ever had any money was Maud, but her dad actually didn't. Her dad did embezzle, but didn't give the dude the money. Okay. Then Walter throws the man out of his wheelchair because he thinks that he can actually walk, and the man can't walk. That part he was telling the truth on. Which was actually my favorite part. He's just like, nah, he's faking it being paralyzed. All right, cool. Throughout the movie, there's this guy in the background played by John Turturro called the Jesus, and he is a very notable character who has no influence on the plot what the fuck ever.
He's in like 2 scenes.
Yeah, but he's very noticeable and very like memorable.
Oh,
and
he's the best.
He's the best.
Nobody fucking with the Jesus.
If he was not in the movie, it would not matter. So
I'm not sure I've ever seen, and it could just be a lack of seeing John Turturro films, but I feel like I've seen him in a good handful. I'm not sure I've ever seen one where he's playing a character who's so, what's the word? Like over the top, so extravagant, so like just in your face.
I think that the Coen brothers basically let him make the character himself because there was very little for this character on the page. Like him licking the bowling ball was his idea and stuff like that. So, all right. So
you're doing great, sweetie.
Thank you. Walter and the dude are at the bowling alley. Walter broke Shabbos to drive the dude to the Big Lebowski's house, and now they're driving back. So now they're gonna go bowl.
Everyone knows what Shabbos is, of course.
Yes, which is basically like the Jewish day of rest. Don't drive, don't work, you can't turn the lights on, whatever shit like that. So Jesus doesn't actually believe Walter that he's observing Shabbos. And then like whatever he leaves. And then they go outside, Walter and the dude and Donnie go outside. Donnie's kind of been around, but basically he's just there for them to say, shut the fuck up, Donnie. They go outside and they're confronted by the nihilists, including one that has 9 toes. Okay? They set fire to the dude's car and they want the $1 million. But there was no $1 million. So then they're like, fine, we'll just take the money you have on you. And like, they look in their pockets. I think like Jeff Bridges has like $4. So like they're not happy. Walter's like, nah, fuck this, I'm gonna fight you. They fight off the nihilists. But Donnie dies in the background from a heart attack. Then they decide to they're gonna like cremate him, but the urns are too expensive, so they go get a Folgers coffee can. They put him in the coffee can. Then they take him to these cliffs overlooking the Pacific Ocean. Fucking Walter was a Vietnam veteran, and the dude was like a Vietnam protester. So why they're friends, I don't know. Walter basically ruins the eulogy by making it all about Nam. The dude like yells at him, and then he's like, "I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, dude." And then they hug. Also,
sweet.
when they go to scatter Donnie's ashes, they just blow back onto the dude, so he just gets covered in his friend's remains.
That part absolutely killed me. I could not stop laughing at the wind just whipping it all back into him, and he just stands there taking
with his glasses.
Taking the brunt of Donnie to the face.
Mm-hmm. The dude basically is just like, whatever. Then they're like, Walter's like, you want to go bowling? And he's like, yeah. And then at the end, he meets the stranger he met him throughout in the middle part of the movie. It didn't really matter. They had like a conversation. And at the end, they're like, "Oh, you're Sam Elliott. Hi, I'll see you later."
Those like, verbatim.
Yeah.
What the dude says.
And then
Sam Elliott.
Yeah, Sam Elliott's like, "Yeah, I didn't like seeing Donnie go, but it's whatever." And Maud's pregnant with a little Lebowski.
Talking to the camera.
Yeah. Basically still as the narrator.
Mm.
And that is that whole fucking movie.
You know what? It's like I was there. That was great.
How do you I think that was one of my better recaps.
I think you did okay.
You did like this movie. Oh, you remember so much.
Fuck all you hosts, get a grip.
Oh, I
All
can't.
right.
I'm sorry.
All right, so we didn't stop to talk about any specific scenes, but is there any part that really stood out to you guys that you wanted to talk about?
How about Critter? Do you have anything specific you want to bring up first? This is your movie. You should have the floor.
Where to even begin? I mean, so many things are just so memorable to me. So quotable, and it's all just the characters are all memorable in their weird way, but also super irrelevant. There's no relevance to any of it, which kind of makes it great. And it just makes each individual scene so good. Personally, I'm a big fan of the Nihilist myself, but
what about the Nihilists do you really like?
So, obviously, their whole setting, they're like former pornographers with Jackie Treehorn, whatever, which has some affiliation with Bunny the wife. And just like they come, and it's like, you're not even the main people trying to get money. Jackie is actually owed money. How did you even get into this? And it's so uninvolved. So then they're bringing an otter into the dude's house and telling him, "Oh, we'll cut off your Johnson," and whatever. Like, they're just so out there. They're outcast characters in this already goofy, ridiculous film. Somehow they're over the top even more.
They're really like, it's just this movie as a whole. It's crazy how many colorful characters there are who just pop in, and it feels like off screen there's so much going on connecting all of them, and the dude is just like I said in my initial comments on it, like, he is just stumbling his way through a movie that's happening around him. Like, it feels like what really was going on here is there was a movie that was made, and the dude is a character who's in like one, maybe two scenes, and we're following the rest of this cast the whole time, following all of these interconnected plot lines, all of these connected characters and their business and personal relations. And the dude is supposed to be there for just a scene or two, but instead it's just the exact opposite what we're following. And all of these characters that should be normally the focus for this crime mystery comedy, those are all the side players, and it's just the guy who stumbles into it all is who we're really following. So I think the Nihilists, they're just such a, like, of all of the colorful characters, talk about a goddamn wild card. A wild card in a movie full of wild cards. And the catalyst for most of this.
Yeah, for sure. I think before we started, I kind of wanted to throw it out there. I was like, it's amazing how this movie makes the unremarkable remarkable. These characters, like, the dude is not seeking glory. He's not seeking adventure. He's not seeking anything but a rug.
Dude just wanted his rug back.
Yeah. They really tied the room together. All of this is put into motion because of a case of mistaken identity, albeit an exaggerated one. But everyone here then decides, here's this guy, we're going to use him for our own means. Everybody treats him like he's James Bond. Like, everyone treats him like he's playing the same game as they are. And then all slowly realize that he's not. And then they reveal to the audience they knew the whole time that he wasn't. But they treated him like he did. right? Like, Maud didn't think he was brilliant. She wanted to sperm jack him. The old man didn't think he was all that. He thought he would be a willing accomplice in the basically embezzling scheme that he had going on. Jackie Freehorn wanted the money that Bunny had borrowed from him and was using the dude as a means to get that back. But they all have all these characters that you're talking about, they all have these very, like, long diatribes they go on. They have these speeches that they go on. They basically soliloquy and opine directly to the audience. Because if they were talking to the dude, I think that it would have just been whistling in their ears. And he is, like, just so unbothered. He is so go with the flow. He is so chill. He is so zen that none of this even registers. Like, he's annoyed by it, but he gets punched in the face. He wakes up in Malibu, and the guy tells him to get out of town, and he just starts walking. You know? Like, he's dead broke. He was doing this so that he didn't have to pay rent. That doesn't get resolved. He doesn't get any money. He's still late on his rent when the movie ends. Like, none of his problems are resolved because it's not about his problems. It is about a guy who does so little and tries so hard to do the bare minimum. At every opportunity that he could have done anything interesting, he opted to go bowling. There are more scenes of people making White Russians than any other movie I've ever seen ever, outside of maybe like a cocktail preparation video correspondence course. So, like, I found that really interesting. Like this is just a story about a guy who has the same name as somebody else. Everything else about it is unremarkable. He's not a getaway driver. He crashes his car immediately. You know, everything goes wrong for him. The way it would for any of us. It is like if Mr. Bean planned a heist. And it really works. It's really funny that way.
So I'm going to remember that you said crashes the car immediately, goes wrong like it would for any of us. I'm going to make sure I remember that for a question I'm going to ask later.
Wow, okay. It's later. Do you want to ask your question?
I was going to say, now the suspense is killing me.
Oh,
it's
okay.
it's
okay.
the
We'll
could
get
I
there.
have done it?
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah, but no, I think I like this movie. It does kind of meander. It doesn't have a destination in mind. It sort of has like a loose start and end, and everything that happens in between is like, listen, you're going on a road trip. You got to stay at this Howard Johnson. You got to go to this Stuckey's. And when you're done, you'll be in where you need to be. And that's kind of how it feels. It kind of feels like a lazy river approach to the story.
Wow. So you're saying, wow, lazy approach? That's all I heard.
I'm going to throw my bottle cap at the camera. Lazy river approach. You're just kind of going along with it. Did you ever see the episode of Seinfeld with the library cop?
No.
It's not ringing a bell.
There's a guy who's like this really intense guy who's like the library cop for the New York Public Library, and Jerry thinks that he returned the book, and the guy is like very up in his grill. He's like, "Oh, so you think you're a funny man, huh? Well, I got news for you, hopscotch. You put on a pair of shoes, you walked into a New York library, you became my business." Like, just grills him for like 3 minutes. You know, and he's like, "You think you're funny, huh? This is how you get your jokes? This is how you get your kick, Seinfeld?" Like, ew. Everyone else in the movie talking to the dude is like that.
Man.
No.
Speaking of people talking to the dude, I wanted to talk a little bit about, Sam Elliott, the stranger. And
really?
wanted to hear your guys' thoughts on his role both through the movie, you know, because he's in 3 scenes. He's in the opening, like the exact middle, and then the very end. What did he mean to you guys in regards to the story? What did he represent to you guys? You know, the Coen brothers, they will often, not all the time, but it's not unheard of for them to have like a bit of ambiguity to their endings and the meaning of things. Like, look at No Country for Old Men, for example. So I'm curious where things land for you guys. Have landed multiple times. If things changed over time for you, Gaffey, on multiple rewatches.
I think maybe CJ, do you want to take this one first, and I'll give my like multiple watch perspective.
Yeah, so like any narrator, it's like, okay, this is going to be our source of truth through the story. I would say that everyone else is like so embroiled in this wannabe whodunit that they're like not reliable storytellers. So you need like this like omniscient narrator to like frame the story. I thought his characterization of the dude was interesting. I thought it was interesting to settle it that way. I'll say something else for Coen Brother movies. It always feels like there's, not always, feels like oftentimes they include a character who like frames the story in a way, you know, and who like kind of sets things on the map. And I'm thinking about the guy on the rails in Oh Brother Where Art Thou, who basically tells them everything that's going to happen to them before it happens to them. Now that one's more of an adaptation of the Odyssey, so that's like, you know, the soothsayer or whatever. But I just thought it was interesting, like it's almost like he's setting everything in motion, but and then it's like he's there physically, which I thought was interesting because I didn't expect to see him physically there, you know. Like I didn't expect, like you hear a narrator, you don't expect the narrator to come out of the closet. I thought that was an interesting device, like make him real in the world. I don't know if you ever saw, did either of you see Blazing Saddles?
No.
In movies, there's two kinds of music, and I forget the names of them, but one of them is you're in the scene, and they're playing the music in the scene. So you're at a bar.
Diegetic and non-diegetic.
Thank you. So diegetic is you're at a bar, you hear the people in the bar, you hear the band playing in the bar, you hear the jukebox. The sounds are original to the bar. Versus like you're out in the middle of the desert and you hear a string quartet. Well, there's no string quartet in the desert. That's non-diegetic. And there's a scene in Blazing Saddles where it's the sounds of the West, right? The man walking through the desert, and you think, oh, it's non-diegetic, and then there's just a full fucking band playing in the middle of the desert. Right? It's like the joke. So, in that way, it's like, yeah, it's interesting. Like, he steps out from behind the curtain in that way. I thought that was an interesting device. What do you think, Gaffey?
So I think there's a couple different levels to take here. And like, obviously the whole movie, it can be as simple and dumb as you want it. Or if you want to, almost like a good piece of art, you can find some sort of symbolism behind just about anything in anything.
Nah,
so
no way, no shot.
I know, crazy thought. But so narrator, CJ pretty much encapsulated the first part perfectly, where it's like, yeah, you know, he's speaking truth, and then you find out he's actually a real person, which is just another goof along the trail, and it's a big subversion of expectation. Good part of comedy, good part, just any film really. And then I think towards the end he kind of shifts again one more time, like, oh, instead of just being a real guy, it's almost just a direct, like, in your face saying, oh hey, this is not that kind of movie. It's different from a regular movie, you know. Maybe it's even symbolic for how movies were starting to kind of get formed at the time, just like American expectations for what's going to happen. Oh, well, here's the plot. Oh, we actually don't get any of that. It would be cool though, you know, like, dude, why do you got to swear so much? And so it's just kind of, nope, we're going to do things a little different. And it's just pointing it in your face. Hey. But he's entertaining, and it just adds on to the line of gags and goofy characters.
I think it definitely, having this omniscient narrator pop into the actual scene is, you know, something kind of like what you said. It's something that you don't really see that often. And I think it could be, like you said, like, it can mean so much and at the same time so little. Like, it could just be like, yeah, it's just what we're doing. It's that type of movie. It's a fun movie. He's here to help give it a little bit of structure. But I do think that there's a lot that you could read into it, especially like I think the pairing of him with the tumbleweed at the opening is pretty choice.
Well, he's a cowboy after all. The cowboy.
Yeah, you know, like I think there's a lot that can be said there about the idea of him like representing like, you know, an older, like this tumbleweed starts in the desert and makes its way, or like it's in LA. You know, I think that there's something that could be said between like the embodiment of old versus new with him versus the dude. He's also like the only other character that doesn't have a name people refer to him by. Like the dude is the dude. We know his name is Jeff Lebowski, but he's the dude. The stranger is the stranger. So I think that, you know, there could be some parallels there. Like it's just, it feels like there's so much potential there, but it also gives you so little to latch onto. It's so easy to project a different kind of frame onto it from viewing to viewing even. Just like it's such a weird choice that fits it so well.
Now, do you think the movie, if he's not like in it as a physical character at all, does it change the film even a little bit?
Do we still have his narration at all?
Yeah, you still get the narration, but he's not a real character.
It just makes it like every other movie that Sam Elliott has ever narrated.
True.
So it takes him out of being a character.
I do feel like without him, I feel like the movie would be a little bit lesser without him being in the scenes. Because I do think that him being in the scenes is a, you know, it's a different choice. And without it, I think that this, you know, it's not like it'll crash and burn the movie. I think it's still a really great film without him being in it. But I think it's just one of those things where it's just like, it just adds extra color around the edges to it that just sets it apart in that this is non-traditional in ways. It's not super cut and dry, something you've seen before. Like it is different. It's not a challenging movie per se where it's hard to watch and hard to understand, but it does add more depth to it. I think that it definitely is a positive for the film, and without him, it would be a detractor.
Yeah.
CJ, what about you? Do you think this movie how do you think this movie without Sam Elliott being in the scenes, interacting with the dude, how big of a difference do you think that would make?
I think my point from before, it just makes it every other movie with a narrator. Like the gag either fits or it doesn't fit. The bit either works or it doesn't work, or you have no bit, right? So even just the way that it broke down, I don't think it fits tonally to have a serious narrator at the beginning and the end and not have him interact. Like it feels tonally correct the way that it was applied. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Something that I wanted to ask you guys while we're on this subject of
the man that gets thrown out of the wheelchair. The man when he gets thrown out of the wheelchair, favorite part.
No, what I was gonna ask is us three versus Walter, Donnie, and the dude in bowling. Who wins? Us three versus them.
Them.
Why?
100%.
Why?
Because
are you guys not good bowlers?
If they start losing, Walter's gonna pull out the gat, and that's the end of that.
Also, they're going to semifinals of the league.
Yeah, but the thing is, guys, and maybe this is my Midwest, I was a kid in a bowling league talking. I think we would have a real solid shot because of our handicap.
I don't think we get a handicap.
Most bowling leagues I'm aware of have handicaps.
Okay. So
maybe they don't at this level, but I think we have a shot.
I think once you reach a certain age, you don't get a handicap anymore.
See,
at that point, it's just a skill issue.
My mom and stepdad are in leagues and they have handicaps.
Your mom's in a bowling league?
Yeah, my mom and stepdad have done bowling leagues.
Have done
Stepdad's
or are
handicap?
In? Hang on. Have done or are in?
They're not in one currently, but they've been in bowling leagues in the past couple years. Like it's been a recent thing. They're just not doing one right now.
That sounds so Midwestern.
Oh, it's the most
Well,
Midwestern
You
thing
guys
possible.
don't like bowling out there on the East Coast?
No, it's just like my mom's in a bowling league. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, that's like Marge Simpson rolling up to the alley, right?
Yeah. Living life.
Live and learn.
So
Holding
you
on to
guys
the edge
don't
of
think
tomorrow.
we could beat them?
I
No.
know we couldn't beat them.
I
Wow.
can't bowl.
Wow.
If I hit 100, it's a good day.
Wow. Come
I
on,
can hit 100 with the
guys.
bumpers.
My gosh,
Ooh,
you guys are all
bumpies.
You know that little ramp that you put the ball down and roll?
the
I
little
need that.
dinosaur.
Yeah. And it was never a dinosaur for me. It was
Oh, you're
Oh, you're
bowling
not the
alley
dinosaur, the
slacking.
green dinosaur, dude?
with the bumpers.
At that
Now,
point, are
with-
you even bowling?
With the
Says you.
bumpers, do you still try and throw it straight, or do you put up the bumpers and you're like, I'm fucking careening this off the walls? Because, I'm not a bumper bowler, but if we're on a lane where the bumpers go up and down, and it's not like that you set them up and they stay up, I sometimes like to put on the bumpers for a game and just bounce it back and forth and try and get strikes with ricochets.
I still throw it straight. I just don't strike yet.
Gotcha.
My ego would not let me put up bumpers unless everyone's putting it up for the meme.
We should go bowling next day, GDQ.
You can't come. Sorry. You're too good.
Oh, no.
What?
I don't.
You can't go.
I'll be at the bar.
You're too good.
Boo.
But
I'm
I'll
not
go.
Good.
You're kind of good.
I'm not going to be bowling 200.
I'll only get like a
over here.
240.
Can I tell you?
Yeah.
No.
I think Jade would beat me and Gaffey together.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Together?
Y'all are real Midwest.
Yeah, my
What? You're a fake Midwesterner, Gaffey?
I'm
He's
a
a
transplant.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
hmm
I like you people, but I'm not one of you.
Wow.
Like if I moved, I would not become a Midwesterner.
Oh yeah, you would in a week.
No.
I give it a week and you'll be wearing flannels around town.
Nice.
Never. All right. Do you have anything else on the show notes, Tommy, for the movie?
I wanted to talk about god dang Roger Deakins.
Who was
We
that?
stay winning. The director of photography for this movie, Roger
Oh,
Deakins.
I
Gotta
was
give
gonna
him a
say, who
shout
is
out.
that?
Yeah.
The Deep.
Of course, frequent collaborator with the Coen brothers. Also was the cinematographer for Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Which when we started watching it, I shouted out Roger Deakins when his name appeared on screen.
Mhm.
My boy. He also did like The Village with M. Night. He did 1917 with Sam Mendes. He did Skyfall with Sam Mendes.
He
Hail
did
Caesar, Sicario.
1917 was the one I
Already
was
said
thinking.
that one.
He did
Sicario,
Blade
No Country
Runner
for Old
2049, like,
Men.
he rules.
Dang.
He
Yeah, he
rules.
rules.
Didn't he do Shawshank?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Also did
big one.
Shawshank. He absolutely rules. So just wanted to shout out him specifically. I think that he adds so much to movies, and I think that the camera work and the framing of shots and the composition, like that's fully on display in the Big Lebowski. Like it looks great. It's a really good looking movie. So just had to give the Roger Deakins shout out, and not to mention the bowling shots where you are the ball. I mean, come on.
Those were
Well,
terrible.
not my favorite. Yeah.
Those were
Terrible.
really bad.
Well, no, they weren't.
Yeah, they were awful.
What was bad about them?
They didn't look like they were actual bowling.
It was
Yeah,
1998, though.
It didn't look. Shut up. It didn't look like a ball going down a lane. It looked like someone
I
put
thought
a
it did.
camera on a wheel.
I thought it looked like a ball.
It didn't have the RPMs of a bowling ball.
What? Okay, so CJ, can you describe for me how a bowling ball rolls?
It's a sphere.
Uh-huh.
So, first of all,
That sounds like a
never-
circle.
Mm-hmm.
almost never are you getting like perfectly straight,
Okay.
on the throw. But it just lollygagged. It would be like,
And
because
have you watched a bowling ball and how it doesn't have a uniform spin? In fact, many bowling balls slide like half of the way.
yeah, and that camera didn't do that either.
Exactly, because
the
it's
ca-
non-uniform. You can't.
The camera did this. Okay, it did oh, instead of being like
That's because the camera weighs so much. It was lopsided.
Well,
I know.
Here's another thing, CJ. That actually might be realistic because bowling balls are not uniformly weighted, actually. Bowling balls, especially professional balls like the ones they're using, they have like cores that are shifted to a side, which helps with spin.
We're not going to pretend that they used a real ball. We know that they
didn't.
used...
They used like a grill or something. They used like a Weber grill practically or something like that.
Obviously, they used a rig to spin the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it
So
spun like a bowling
we
ball.
know that they did that.
Yeah.
We know that they did that. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it looked like a bowling ball. It looked good.
It didn't look like a bowling ball. It looked like they had a rig that spun the camera.
It looked like that. How did they get it poking out of the little thumb hole, huh? Are you trying to tell me they didn't put a quarter-sized camera inside of a bowling ball and roll it down? CJ's mad. CJ is making a physical prop.
How did I do that? How did I do that?
A hole in a napkin.
How did I do that?
Hold up. Let him cook. He might have a point here.
How did I do that?
I don't see what
with a
tearing
bowling
hole in a
ball
napkin has anything
nailed
to do
it.
with any of this.
Put a piece of fucking of plastic in front of it, and you can't see anything outside except for the hole.
That looked
It's
like
in the
the
hole.
hole on the tip of a dick. That did
Gaffey
not look
was
like a
with me
bowling
on
ball.
that one.
Whoa.
Gaffey was with me on this. At the end, he was with the napkin.
Anyway, all
right.
that to say, I don't think the bowling shot matters.
I think it's the
Doesn't
most
change
important thing in
anything
the
for
movie.
me.
I
It's
think it's the most
terrible,
important
and you're
thing.
terrible.
It's my favorite movie
terrible?
about bowling,
Yeah.
and that shot, it didn't detract. It was still additive. It was good.
Yeah, it's what happens when you put a nickel-sized camera into a bowling ball and roll
That's
it down
true.
there.
Lopsided for straight line bowling.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Well,
It's called
speaking of
centrifugal force.
there you go.
Speaking of, yeah.
Speaking of, CJ's got a hand on his
He
head. He's
looks
so
very upset.
exasperated.
Over.
Speaking of freaking, wait, you know what? I can't let this go. I gotta show you guys how off-centered bowling ball weights are.
Oh,
What
God,
are we
no,
doing?
No. Speaking of,
speaking of bowling scenes, and this being your favorite bowling movie, what are some other scenes you particularly like? Do you guys have any favorite scenes or maybe favorite performances in this movie?
Oh, when Walter's railing on the car, that was great.
this is what happens, Larry.
My
See what
favorite
happens,
scene,
Larry.
Yeah, my favorite scene is when he throws the old man out of the wheelchair because he thinks he's faking it. He's clearly not. That was clearly not part of the grift.
Ooh,
My
I
favorite
remember
scene in
your
the
real
movie.
favorite scene, actually.
Was that?
It's got to be the landlord's one-man
Oh,
performance.
I love that.
I could
It
just
was
hear it.
It was so much my favorite that I didn't include it in the recap.
Oh.
I thought you were gonna say the foot scene because that gets a lot of play on the podcast.
Will you stop thinking about feet?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
for one goddamn second.
We're trying to be constructive here.
Not you two. Critter.
You do this to yourself.
Et tu, Brute.
Oh no.
All right. Well, I don't care what the rest of y'all fucking favorite scenes are. I said mine.
Perfect. So we'll kick CJ out of the call. Gaffey, what are your favorite scenes or performances?
Oh man. I mean, obviously, I think the movie, no one else could have done all of John Goodman's parts, and it still would have hit the same. I think John Goodman is invaluable. His whole his only personality trait is that he's a Vietnam veteran is terrible, and then you find out he's only Jewish because of his ex-wife, who he still is doing favors for. He's so good.
It's a show dog, Donnie.
Yeah, and no animal is called the right thing throughout this whole thing. I love it. It's a Pomeranian. It's the most mutt dog I've ever seen in my life.
That dog is the farthest thing from a Pomeranian.
Talking about the marmot attack, and it's an otter. Donnie's funeral, obviously.
Oh my god!
I think
yes.
stands out.
Yeah,
It's
with
just
the,
all
with the
time.
ashes blowing on him. That was really good.
So goddamn good, especially
With
because
the
of He doesn't
Yeah.
even move. It just keeps hitting him.
I love when Walter comes to kind of wipe Donnie off of him. He's like, "I'm sorry, dude."
Oh. There was some realness in there too. Oh.
Yeah, good scene. Good scene.
What about you? Do you have a favorite moment? What about favorite sub character?
Oh, well, my favorite moment is when the dude is having the porn dream. That entire sequence of
classic.
him being in the pornography, and like I love the shot of him, like it's the start. First off, he like composes himself like a cartoon character, like exaggerated movements, exaggerated facial expressions. Jeff Bridges just like really hams it up in this scene, and I thought it was
Miniature Jeff Bridges, yeah.
Yes. Really fun atmosphere. I love that first shot. I know I commented on it while we were watching, of him walking like around that corner, and he looks tiny. You know, they filmed him like clearly on location next to like huge, enormous stone walls. Really great. That entire part, like Jeff Bridges absolutely sells it. I think without Jeff Bridges being the dude in that sequence, that it would just kind of come off as a detour that's just like, okay, we just did that, sure. I feel like it does add to the movie and its whole atmosphere and the absurdity of it all, though, it's with Jeff Bridges' performance. So
See,
absolutely
I thought it
love
was
that.
because your favorite historical figure was working the counter.
Oh, Abraham Lincoln?
The other one, slightly more Middle Eastern.
Oh,
Saddam Hussein. Yeah, which is a
well,
callback to like the beginning of the movie too. They have
Yes.
George W. on, and
Yes. You know, I would put him. I
That was
wouldn't say he's my
HW.
favorite.
This happened in 91, right?
yeah.
This movie
The movie's
happens-
98, but yeah.
This movie takes place in, I thought, in like the 1930s.
See, he was going to correct me, but then when he found out I was right, he had to come up with some bullshit answer.
No.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Well played,
No,
well
I
played.
thought this movie took place in the 1930s.
Yeah, you thought it was a Prohibition movie. That's right. Okay, Grandpa.
Excuse me, Prohibition was over in 1930.
Aren't you so funny?
How about favorite performances?
I have no favorite performances.
No favorite performances?
The Big Lebowski's pretty funny. The Nihilists were pretty funny, but I think it's an ensemble thing.
Agreed.
Walter was really good. Like, John Goodman was really good. I think John Goodman and Jeff Bridges are the only two you couldn't replace.
Wow, you could replace John Turturro?
And
yes.
John Turturro.
yes, you could.
Who would you guys fan cast into that role if John Turturro were unavailable? And you can pick people who, you know, wouldn't have necessarily been in this movie at the time. You could pick
John
a more
Wayne.
modern star. John Wayne as
Like the
the
bowling
Jesus?
ball?
Oh my God. I would love to see that. Not my
Nobody
choice.
messes with the Jesus, dude.
Joe
Definitely not
Pesci.
my choice.
Freebie.
Oh, Joe Pesci. That'd be good. That'd be good.
What about the guy who plays Ralph Cifaretto?
Who?
The guy from The Sopranos?
From The Sopranos.
Yeah.
Is that Joey Pants?
Yeah, Joey Pants.
Joey Pants, I could see doing it. I think it would have to be a little bit of a different vibe.
It'd be
But I
more
could
of
see
a
Joey
new,
Pants.
It'd be more of a New York.
Yeah,
It'd be more of a New Jersey bowling.
yeah. You know who I think would have been good in the role though is I think that Jeff Bridges
Cheech Chong?
might have been.
Ooh, I
good
could see Jeff
to
Bridges.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be fun.
Afro Man?
Is he an actor?
Ohio resident.
I was gonna go to class.
I thought he was just a
then I
musician.
got- Are you
Anyone's an
discounting
actor.
the work of musicians? Dude, if
No, I
Method Man
didn't.
can be in The Wire,
I didn't. Yeah, Method Man is an actor and musician. I thought Afro Man just stuck to music.
and I know why.
Why, man?
All right. It was like a high. It was like a high. All right, guys. Is the film okie dokie?
No. Before we get to that, we got an
Oh.
important question.
Jesus.
CJ.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Could you have done The Big Lebowski?
Who am I?
Who do you think?
I'm the Big Lebowski.
You
Dude.
are the dude.
I could be the dude. I got this.
Even though I guess the dude crashed his car, and you said,
what do I have to
like
do?
everyone
I got to
would
get
have,
the shit beat out of me like 4 times. I got to have sex. The hardest part is going to be drinking all that milk.
I thought you were going to say
milk.
the sex. Hey-o!
Hey-yo. Put up there, bud. All right.
Yeah. The
Got
hardest part's going to be the drinking the White Russians because I don't like milk. But I'll get through it. I can get through it. And then, yeah, I got to get the shit beat out of me a few times. I got to lose a empty briefcase. I got to crash my car. I've done that before. I've hit a tree. So
You got to get
like,
pelted with ash.
Yeah, that's fine.
I did see you run your car off of a wall.
At our friend Shuli's house. Shuli has minus a driveway, and her neighbors have like a 4-foot drop on a retaining wall. And I basically lost a tire over the wall, and the only way out was to go over the wall. And I did it.
Wow.
And then, like, for the rest of the time we were there, the neighbors had like it was because it had snowed. The neighbors had like a fucking bunch of tire marks in the middle of their front yard.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can't
I
believe
could totally
that.
do it. Do you think I could do it?
Oh, I feel like this is a movie that just based on the premise alone and how the premise is largely based around the inaction of our main character, I think you could do it.
Wow. Thanks for the ringing endorsement.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, CJ, you could do nothing for an hour.
It was 2 hours.
You could do nothing for 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Don't sell yourself short.
Thanks. All right. Is it time now?
Yes,
no, I
now
have
it's
one
time.
last big thing that's actually
hell
kind
yeah.
of really important, and I can't believe we didn't circle back to it.
What
So,
is
by the end of the film, everything just kind of goes back to normal, but nothing's resolved as far as characters. Like, you don't know
Yeah.
how things turn out for the dude and how the league goes. Sam Elliott calls that out, but, like, did you guys like it? Did you find that to be a good ending? Did you hate it because it's like, well, I just spent 2 hours invested in this just to not get paid off? What was your thought process when it first ended?
I could not give a shit less about anything that happens in their lives after
Really?
this moment. No. Because it didn't matter if they won we didn't even see them really bowl. We barely saw them bowl. Like, it's a movie about bowling, and I think there's like 3 minutes of bowling in the whole thing.
One might say
whoa.
it's not really about bowling then.
Yeah, I would
No,
agree.
it's my favorite bowling movie.
Seeing them in the bowling tournament, like, if it were Rookie of the Year and they didn't show the kid playing the World Series, like, yeah, like, what the fuck?
Hey,
you know?
CJ, I've got something to tell you. Rookie of the Year, you don't see them play in the World Series. You just
Well,
see
there
them.
you go.
You just see them play in the NLCS.
Oh, because he played for the Cubs, right?
No, they end up winning the World Series, but you don't see it.
Oh. Lame. I would hate that. I would really hate that. So yeah, it's like, if you like do you all ever see Like Mike? The kid gets
Yeah.
Michael Jordan's old shoes.
Isn't
Yeah,
Jesse
great
Plemons
movie.
in that?
Yes. I would say it'd be like if you had a basketball movie and then it's like, oh yeah, we're not going to show him playing basketball. It's like, well, it's not a basketball movie. I don't think any of the stuff that goes on with them matters. Like, do I care if the dude is a good father? No.
Well, he's not going to be a father.
Well, he's going to be a sperm donor. I don't care about any of that stuff. It doesn't matter to me. So, like, I thought it was fine. Like, at the end of it, I felt resolved because the plots that were introduced during the middle of it that mattered got resolved. Like, if they never resolve what happened to Bunny, I'd be like, what the fuck was that? But
Jackie never got his money. What do you mean?
I don't know what Jackie had to do with any of it. Let him go beat up the real Lebowski.
I'd pay to see that.
Yeah. Well, that's cruel. I think there's porn for
What?
that. What about you, Tommy?
I liked it. I think that, kind of what CJ was saying at the end there, it's not what the movie's really about. It's not.
Yeah, of course.
It's not, like you said, I think either at the beginning of this or, at the beginning of the post-game, or if it was off air, you're like, it's the journey, not the destination. It's like, yeah, this movie was very much not ever about the drama of the bowling. The most drama we ever got in the bowling was Walter pulling a gun on someone, which that served a totally different purpose than to have drama relating to their bowling. And then all the stuff with the Jesus, which the Jesus is not in this movie as like a bowling adversary. He's in it for John Turturro and a funny little side bit.
It's to set up the
set up for
2018
later.
sequel Jesus Rolls.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Which they planned back then.
Amazing.
So, how about you, Gaffey? What do you think?
I remember first and they were like, "Wait, what? It's just ending?" So that's you guys both being like, "Oh no, of course, yeah." But perhaps maybe I just had a more simple view. But then I think it's led to something really nice where I'm like, "Oh, you know what?" And maybe you could pull onto the theme of, "Oh, the nihilists are there to kind of serve as almost a foreshadow for," is like, it really doesn't matter. It's just it's about having a good experience along the way.
Yeah. And I think that's one thing that really lends the movie well to added rewatches. Like, assuming, I should say, like, I do feel like this is a movie that if you go in with the right expectations, this movie's one hell of an experience.
Mhm.
But, like, you have to understand what type of movie it is for that. And having the prerequisite knowledge from your first watch, plus like catching all of the additional stuff. I'm sure that you were spotting so many little details. Like, knowing a Coen Brothers movie, this is filled to the brim with little things in the background that build on all of this. So I totally believe that.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we ask the important question, though?
Big
Is
one?
the film okie dokie? CJ,
The film is okie dokie.
how about you, Critter?
This film is okie dokie.
And I am in agreement. This is an okie dokie film. This is the first time we've ever had
Oh
3
my
I
god.
was gonna
okie dokie
say.
thumbs up. First time ever, because of course when Jade was on, both CJ and Jade gave V for Vendetta a not okie dokie. I was the lone dissenter.
Wow.
Well.
Amazing.
Well, how about before we find out what's next time on The Film is Okie Dokie, we go to the rec room where we
Yes.
all give a few recommendations. Critter, would you like to go first or last?
Last, absolutely.
Perfect.
He's got
All
to
right.
he's got to look up what to do.
CJ, you want to kick us off?
Yes. I'm going to blindly recommend this show from the WB network. Premiered on the WB, ended on the CW. If you like fast talking dialogue, if you like witty, smart things, I'm going to tell you to check out Gilmore Girls. I have seen it twice. I have no memory of it, but watching a few episodes with Tommy and Jade when I was in Chicago was part of the highlight of my morning, every morning getting ready before we got out and started doing our stuff every day. I love it. I'm going to do a complete rewatch of the show. My hope is that I'm going to finish the show before Tommy and Jade finish the mini-series on Netflix. So it is 7 seasons. It is streaming on Hulu and I believe Max, right now. And it's a non-exclusive streaming agreement. But also, if you're interested, there is the Year in the Life miniseries. I believe that's what it's called.
Yes.
It is a 4-part miniseries on Netflix. So if you're interested in that, I like one of my favorite shows is The West Wing, and it gives me serious West Wing energy just because of the dialogue and how sharp and fast it is. I will also recommend to you, and this is a little bit outside the box. I will recommend to you all, Jackass Forever. We were actually doing a 9 the other day, and I made one that was all things that Jade had not seen. And one of them I kept putting on was Jackass, specifically because I think that the act of those particular group of people hurting themselves for my entertainment is funny. That having been said, that one in particular made me laugh a lot. It is sort of the end of that group's ability to do that kind of work. They are too old to do those stunts anymore. They're just not going to be able to do them. I think Johnny Knoxville is specifically retired from doing stuff with bowls, and partially because he gets significantly injured in that movie. So if you're interested, I recommend checking out Jackass Forever. And the last thing I'm going to tell you to check out is Race with the Moon, which that movie, although Tommy said it's just fine, that movie was a blind movie for us. We got that movie in the random pool during our 9. It is a Sean Penn, Nick Cage movie. That's all we saw, and we made the decision to watch it. Jade knew what it was about. Me and Tommy didn't, because she looked it up. We went totally blind. That movie was better than any double-blind movie had any right to be, and I appreciated it for what it was. It's not an Oscar nominee by any means. It is early performances from Sean Penn and Nick Cage. Maybe there's like 5 more minutes that I wish that it had, but I don't think you're going to go wrong watching it. I mean, it's not the end of the world either, so, I recommend checking it out. It was not a waste of an afternoon. All right, Tommy, why don't you go next?
Sure. I've got 2 recommendations. The first is I wanted to recommend a book that I read recently. Been reading a lot lately. I want to recommend Roadside Picnic by Arkady and Boris Strugatsky. This is a sci-fi book that they wrote in Soviet Russia back in the early 70s. Hey, CJ, I saw that. And this book is largely the inspiration, or I guess a concept that was built on with Annihilation, which is a book that I recommended recently. But Roadside Picnic is more or less aliens visited Earth, but they didn't really actually come down to Earth. They just left a bunch of junk in a few areas. And these areas are now like zones that you're not allowed to go into. And they're super deadly. You have to be guided through one by people that are called stalkers. And it's just a really fantastic and philosophical sci-fi book from the 70s. There's a new translation of it that came out a little over a decade ago. I think the translation was pretty good. I think it's a little clunky at times, but for the most part, pretty good. And just really, really great book. The second thing I wanted to recommend is actually the film adaptation of Roadside Picnic, which is a movie, a 1979 film called Stalker, which was directed by Andrei Tarkovsky, who is one of our most famous Soviet/Russian directors, filmmakers. I guess Soviet. He died before the Soviet Union was dissolved. This, full stop, one of the most beautiful films I have ever seen. Every single shot is phenomenally composed. And even if it starts off as what seems like it'll be just a pretty normal shot or sequence, it just evolves into something much more than just a standard close-up on someone. Every single shot in this movie has so much forethought and just care and attention given to it. It's a pretty loose adaptation of the book. You don't need to read the book to understand the movie. Not at all required reading, but really, really stunning. It was actually mentioned in the companion podcast for the Severance show, that the companion podcast that Ben Stiller and Adam Scott do, and they talk about how Stalker was a big inspiration to Jessica Lee Gagne, which is the show's cinematographer. And I think that it really comes through. If you're a fan of the visual language of Severance and you want to watch a movie that is just more of that, definitely check out Stalker. It's long, it's a little slow in the first half, but really, really terrific otherwise.
They had you in the first half, not gonna lie.
Yeah, there you go. But those are my 2 recs. Critter, how about you?
Oh,
you
boy.
got any recs?
Okay, so one, wow, I have a platform. I'm so excited. 2, it's interesting where my brain just kind of went, where I was like, ooh, what would I recommend? Because I didn't kind of mentally prepare for this. So I got a short little list. I don't know, maybe I'll just pick a couple out of these. But so just one of the shows I watched this year, highly recommend. made me feel a type of way, and that's always important to me. Shrinking, the TV show, which Apple TV doesn't seem to have much, but the few they do have are big hitters. Much like CJ's favorite show, one of anyway, Ted Lasso, which I told him for the longest time to watch, and now I want to tell him, stop watching it and watch something else. But
I'm with you.
wish.
Baby Driver is a up there movie for me. Big fan. Just the music in it, the cinematography. It's just fun. It's not like some groundbreaking film, but I like it a lot.
Interesting.
Then
Never seen it.
one of my favorite like documentary. I don't even know what to say anymore because he kind of does all platforms. But anything by David Farrier, who's a New Zealander. He did the Netflix show Dark Tourist, if you've ever seen that, which is just going to like the most out there places. And he's so earnest with like the way he does it. It's just presenting the places how they are. And obviously Dark Tourist is a little bit weirder. He has a movie called Tickled about people that are into like tickle fetishes, and then did one about like stalkers to celebrities, much like me to Tommy.
Real quick, is that Tickled documentary? Is that the one that exposes like this blackmail ring about all of that?
I believe so, yes.
I heard about that. That sounds wild.
But yeah, so he also does a podcast. It used to be on Dax Shepard's podcast as like a sideshow, but I think it's recently kind of changed off to his own. So he grew up in New Zealand, but is now like he got stuck here during COVID and was like, America's funny. And so it's just him exploring different aspects of American culture and relating to it on its own. And so it started off like he went to a Minnesota Vikings practice session or something like that, and then talking about American football and baseball, or like weird things like our showers and leaf blowers, anything you can think of that's like, that's so weird. But I enjoy listening to it, even if I don't care about a leaf blower, but I like listening to David talk about it.
I like that.
Very
Those
nice.
are some good recs.
Very nice, Rex. So real quick,
Thanks.
just to run through our recommendations again. CJ, you had Gilmore Girls, Jackass Forever, and Racing with the Moon. I had Roadside Picnic, the book, and Stalker. Gaffey, you mentioned Shrinking, Baby Driver, and the documentarian David Farrier. Anything else? Any other final recs? Very nice.
Listen to more. The film is Okie Dokie.
Oh,
Hey.
nice rec. I like that. I like that. That's a good one.
Hey.
All right. Well, how about we go and find out what's next on the film is Okie Dokie?
We have another guest. Should we preface?
Another
Two guests
guest?
in a row. Let's preface a little bit.
So we had a contest for the film is Okie Dokie in our server, and
Join the Discord server, by the way.
join the Discord server. By the way, I'm trying to find my message.
How
All right,
would me,
so-
the fan, join this Discord server?
Well-
You can find it in the description of this podcast. wherever you get your
Exactly.
favorite podcast.
Wherever you're listening to this, just
Mhm.
click on that description, the show notes, and click the Discord link.
All right, so we did the inaugural Okie Dokie Oscar ballot. Anyone was allowed, as long as they were in the server and stayed in the server through the contest. And the first prize winner was Tommy. And
What?
the second place winner was me.
What?
Woo!
So, yeah. So we decided to award third place as first place because obviously we can't win our own competition.
I
So
mean, we can.
it was lame. So there were 3 prizes to be had. Okay. The first one was a sensory experience to be enjoyed with loved ones. The second option was an interactive experience meant to be enjoyed in solitude. The third one was a unique experience to be witnessed publicly. And the winner, third place, was Alex in the server. So Alex chose option number 3, a unique experience to be witnessed publicly, which was be a guest on the film is Okie Dokie.
Ooh.
And be allowed to choose your own film. So, just like Gaffey, we had Jade as our intermediary, so we know that this passes the sniff test. And I'm interested to see what this movie is. Tommy, did I leave anything out?
No, I don't think so. Why don't we listen to this message Alex sent us telling us what is next
all right,
time?
go ahead.
How's it going, Okie Dokesters? It's your boy Alex, aka Dr. Fresh, aka Mr. Top 3, longest continuous subscriber to twitch.tv/tomatoanus. And I am so excited to be joining you guys for the next show. The Big Lebowski is a tough act to follow, but we'll be continuing our duology of beloved films that are long overdue for a gender-swapped reimagining with a very special screening of Jeff Nichols' beloved 2023 masterpiece, The Bike Riders, presented at half speed. I know what you're thinking. Half speed. What is this guy, friggin' idiot or something? But trust me, it'll be fun. I already discussed it with your executive producer, Jade Pasadena, and we came up with a little twist for this special screening. You two are going to decide on a safe word. You both have to agree to say it, and say it in unison, and if you do, we will pause the screening and pick up where we left off at regular speed. But
What the fuck?
should you make it to the end of the film at half speed, you will both receive a mystery prize package valued somewhere between $35 and $50.
It
How
could
does
be
that sound?
anything.
It could be
Sound good?
anything.
I knew you two would love this idea. Can't wait to see you both and go on this wonderful journey together. Catch you next time.
Wow.
Impartial third party. Tommy looks so excited. CJ looks like he's ready to kill everything.
This got
Less
past
than enthused.
Jade?
Let's go.
It must mean it's a banger.
This is awesome.
I've never even seen the Bike Riders at normal speed.
Me neither. This is gonna absolutely rule. Oh
How
my
is this
gosh.
gonna rule?
This is gonna rule. It's presented at half speed. How is that not gonna rule?
I don't even know how we're gonna do that.
Oh, I will make it work. Don't worry. I'll work on that part.
Yeah, you're
Wow.
gonna. Yeah, wow. Okay, not what I thought was gonna happen at all. I thought we were gonna get something like 2 episodes of a show or something. Like I didn't think we were gonna get half speed bike riders.
This is amazing. I love this idea. Thank you, Alex. We can't wait for it. But if you guys if you guys are excited for that too, well, too bad you gotta wait 2 weeks. So get fucked. Wow. Well, thank you, Critter, GaffeyTaffy, so much for joining us for this episode.
thank
Truly
you so
means so
much.
much having one of our best friends be on the show with us. So thank you for joining us. It was
It meant a
truly
lot
so
to be
fun.
invited. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Why don't you give yourself some shout outs? Are there some places people could find you?
No, I hang out. I'm around.
All right. You can
All right.
find GaffeyTaffy around.
Yes. If you've enjoyed this episode, remember to rate us, review us, give us 5 stars. If you only give us 4 stars, I'm inclined to believe that you are a hater. Shout out to Bomani Jones from Wave Originals is the new name of that production company for the Quip. And as always, I am CJ.
I'm Tommy.
Oh my god, and I'm Critter GaffeyTaffy.
And this has been another presentation of The Film is Okie Dokie. Now go on and get out of here.
Go bowling or something.
Vamos!
Really tied the room together.